All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it once again with another edition of the best open forum on YouTube. You know it, you love it. It is the 20th episode. It is the 20th regular episode of the one and only live and uncut. And right now I'm joined by three esteemed guests, the one and only Jonathan Hanna. One and
You
only
guys know
Jonathan
who I
Hanna.
am. What's up, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing tonight? Y'all doing great?
Yeah, enjoying
My
some.
esteemed my esteemed co-host of the one and only Locked In Game Show podcast, the Mr. Danny Boy himself, Danny Lewis.
I'm also here with my friend Bar None from the Pets.com commercials. Wasn't that right? Yes, it is. I'm so glad to be here. And I know that, Paige, you would get your coasters eventually, and they finally came. So you don't have to send the Mafia after Danny, after all.
We'll see about that. And I give him 30% of my success on YouTube. He is the one, the only, and he's eating something in his hands. The Mr. Hangman Charlie.
Yes, as well as the sex educator Hung Chuck at the School of Sex Education, Hung Chuck. Yes, pleasure to be here as always. So, welcome to the newest edition of Live and Uncut.
Yes, and I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been supporting the series so far. It's hard to believe that this is going to be, in terms of regular episodes, number 20. In terms of regular episodes, if you count all the regular episodes, not including the impromptus or the special end of year episodes. But this is episode number 20, and this is going to be this is the first time I think I've ever had a really not jam-packed show with topic after topic after topic. But sit back, enjoy the ride. It is going to be a nice time. I will say that. But anyways, Danny, how was your day?
It was, well, what did I do? I got up, and I didn't have my coffee, so that kind of messed me up. But I went to the post office and shipped out some stuff that was necessary. And then Charlie's he already knows what I said, not in the mailbox, doesn't he? But then I brushed the snow off my car, and that was fun. But it was cold. It was very cold. We gotten a lot of snow here in Missouri, and other than that, I was just laying low and listening to the polka music as usual.
Of course. I'm waiting for you to just I'm just waiting for you to start making polka reaction videos, because I definitely see that in your future.
Nah.
When you run out of game show stuff in your library, which will probably take a good three years, you'll just be resorting to the polka reactions.
You never know.
Yeah. Anyways, Hangman, I heard you got a new job.
Yes, I'm a cook at Sonic. I'm still waiting on Link to finish up my application, but if everything goes well, I should be starting on Friday. I'd be getting paid about 75 cents less than my other job, which is $10 an hour. But you know what? Looks like I'm going to be getting more hours and all this other stuff. It's kind of like it reminds me of what happened last year when I was looking for or not last year, but late or fall of 2019, where I was looking for a new job because the other job I still wanted to be a part of, which is where my ex-fiance worked at, I needed somewhere to give me some more hours. And that's how I found that place. And kind of here we are about a year and a half later, same predicament. And instead of restaurant, I'm working in the fast food industry. But you know what? As I've always said, as long as you're happy, as long as you're making some decent money and decent hours, you can't really complain.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, and again, congratulations on the new job, and hopefully this job will take you much further than the job that you were at, and hopefully that there's tons of room for growth. That's always big.
Yeah, and the one good thing is that it's not that far. Like, it's literally, I could walk. It's about like a 20-minute walk from where I live, and knowing how fast I walk, probably 10, 15, give or take. And the bus takes about like 2 minutes to get there. Like, I literally get there like 2 minutes after the beginning hours. So I don't really that like never being late or never being on time will never be an option or will not be an issue anymore, which is good.
Oh, hey Tom. Hey Tom and Jack. Glad to see that. Glad to see you guys and David. I see you guys over there on the Twitch side of things. We are double streaming this on YouTube and Twitch as always. So glad to see that you guys are able to make the stop by for this edition of the show.
And thanks, Tom, for showing the, by the way, Hangman Charlie shirt on his Tom Willis show today.
Damn it! Yeah. I can't remember if I brought it up in the stream tonight. Damn it! If I didn't, I'll make sure to do it again. I may be going live again on Twitch tomorrow night or tomorrow. Don't know yet. Yeah, me and Tom were doing a little Legacy of Dragon. By the way, Hangman Charlie merchandise. Yeah, but Tom, we were doing a little bit of a stream war for a little bit, and then I raided his channel, gave him enormous views, enormous stuff. So Tom, you're watching this, you're welcome from the Twitch god, the new version of the demo god of YouTube. Oh, yes. Jack wants 10%. Hey, I got one. I had 3 people watching me, so what are you talking about? Should be 3 people. But what I was going to say, though, if Dragon wants 10%, then I want 80% because it's my face and my likeness. So, Danny, you hear this? You hear what Tom is saying? He says Dragon wants 10%. So if we're talking about percentages, we were talking about business yesterday privately with a certain person who loves to rant and rave.
Yes.
We'll get into that, and we'll get into that later on.
Yeah, we had business discussion. Oh, he's a fair person. Yeah, okay, I'll be fair too. Dragon gets 10%, I get 30%. So
Charlie, let's think of this. So if Charlie buys one, then Charlie would get 30% of the money. The Dragon would get 10%, and my cut of the sales money isn't even that good to begin with. So imagine that.
Oh shit.
Well, I was about to say, you probably don't make as much as you think you do when you.
Well, then we're taking you to court, Danny. Get ready for for a future Hangman Outcast being the trial of Danny Lewis.
No.
With Judge Hangman.
Hey.
Better find yourself some good representation.
Horseman member, as by the way, we've started we're looking at 3 out of the 4 members of the Horsemen. If only the other one would get in this chat, we could have all 4. In this
we're the 4 horsemen of the YouTube renegade social media, whatever you want to call it.
It's just social media. We're the 4 horsemen of social media. We do what we want. We do what we want, and we do what we will. We're taking over the platforms. I'm doing them both at 2 times. I'm doing them both 2 times. 2 times in the building is what I do.
Yes.
But,
and I get the word out to my music friends.
Yeah, and you're good for the polka market, and you're good for our polka demographic. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's very helpful. But I do want to say, and just to officialize this, if I can find the picture. Of the one and only
The 4 horsemen are Hangman Charlie, Tom Willis Show, J-Man's the Jits, and David 3000. Okay, one is a YouTube slut, and I'll say this right now in terms of David, because he made, when we all did our Valentine's Day videos, like Danny, everybody did exactly what I wanted. If they went a few seconds too far or too long, but that was okay. Like 20 seconds. Some people went 7, 8 seconds. Some people went exactly at the 15-second mark. But David, and I'm going to bring this up in the special. Oh, there's David right now. David, that little YouTube slut, decided to make a 1 minute and 41 second video of Valentine's Day. That schmuck. You know how easy it was to make? Yeah, Daddy. You know how easy it was? He had to do OBS. You know how easy it was? Look, take your phone out. Hello, everybody. This is David 3000. Yeah, I'm here to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Go check out my stuff at David 3000. Bye-bye.
You gotta keep it short. You don't want
to take he made a fucking 1 minute and 41 second video. That YouTube slut, that schmuck, that whatever else I want to call him. Like David, I appreciate it though, David, and it will be unedited in the video. But if I lose, if people are watching it like as a premiere, and people get bored after the freaking first 30 seconds, and I lose viewership, that's on nobody but you, David.
I was about to say, yeah, we know who to. I was about to say, yeah, we know who to blame for that if that is the case.
Yeah.
But there's a reason we call David the butt buddy of YouTube Clout, and that's the main reason why he is not a part of the Horsemen, mainly because.
Hey, look, my boy Dan XP in the chat, and then let's see. I will dress as Mega Man X and fight all your moms.
But yeah, I've been checking out Dan's Twitch. He's been playing Mega Man, and he's been doing a really nice series with that. Go check that out on Twitch if you can catch it in time. But the main reason David is not in the Horsemen at the moment is because he needs to learn to cut a promo.
Yes. Did he think? Did he think he just wanted to promote his channel for the Valentine's Day video? Like, I don't think he understood.
Well, David's thing is promotion. That's literally, as most times I see him, that's what he does is promotion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like next thing
at this rate, David should honestly just get a job in advertising. And here he is, the fourth member of the. Here he is. Our
next thing you know, David is now gonna say he's a Dragon Ball Z fan, and then we're gonna say, you're not a real Dragon Ball Z fan. Jonathan Hanna, you know something about that. Wait. Charlie did say people can promote their so. Yes, I did, but I didn't. I remember in the beginning of that message, Tom, I'm still waiting on yours. Danny, Paige, I'm still waiting on yours. But all of y'all, didn't I say in the video, in the message,
I'm gonna get mine done.
to promote your or you can promote yourself in 10 to 15 seconds.
Well, I probably didn't pay much attention to that because I'm just like,
You're the king of Redbubble promotion. I give you credit for that.
Nobody listens to you, Charlie. That's the problem. You have to start laying the hammer.
No, it's because I'm just bad at doing things for other people. Because like, if David asked me to ask him like questions on his Q&A, I'd probably forget it unless he reminded me like 50 times.
I'll probably have to. Okay, thank you, Danny. I'll remind you to ask you 50 times.
Hey, what's going on, Ripos? Glad to see you.
I haven't even done it yet, Charlie. So you can't say that I've gone over 15 seconds.
But when Charlie asked me to make a Valentine's Day cameo, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make this as quick as possible so I can get it out of the way. Happy Valentine's Day from Danny.
Damn it. I was planning on doing like a 30-minute...
a 30-minute...
30-minute diatribe.
And wait, I got to see something. When did Charlie learn to cut a promo? I've always known to cut a promo, Dan. You just never noticed. But Legacy of Dragon, what do you think? What's your critique on my promo skills? I enjoy your promo skills. Sometimes you gotta like how I've always learned from experience with wrestling.
No, the greatest promo cutter, Hangman Charlie over here.
The thing is, Charlie's promos. Charlie brings the comedic value.
Yeah.
When did
Charlie brings the comedic value?
I know because of
Danny is just there because we just needed someone to fill the ranks. I'm more the straight shooter, and Tom is like the guy who can do everything.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, guys, you gonna listen to this insult that Dan just insulted us? He said, "When did the Horsemen start riding ponies?" What do you gotta say? Charlie,
he's the one that's thinking about My Little Pony. We're just
hey, Dan. Hey, I need something special for episode 40 of the Hangman Outcast. If you wanna do a promo off my man, you're more than welcome to come into the world of the Outcast one more time and see if you last.
Hey Dan, how about you do me a favor and eat these nuts?
and if you're wondering what Dan is referring to about the Horsemen riding ponies, we're gonna get this little piece of information up right here so we can kind of
look at that.
Eat a dick, Dan. Why'd you say love you, Charlie, as well, bastard? Love you, Dan.
Created by the one and only Danny Lewis, by his Redbubble. But
Yes, I'm the master. I'm like the graphic design /
My horse looks
guy.
dope.
But
My
yeah,
horse is
the
like
picture placement here is just very interesting because I look like I'm pretty much ready for the photo. Danny looks like he's just being held by somebody.
why is
which he
David on
probably
the
is.
ground right there?
Charlie looks like he's
Good one.
photoing up for a prison photo, and we have Tom who just looks so confused.
Like, why am I here?
He
I'm
looked
probably
like
wondering why
this
my
is
horse is half dead.
he just looked like he took some up to Bud saying, "Hey, what wrong hole, man? What's going on?"
What are we leaving from? There's like a giant explosion too. That we just like caused so much chaos.
He
Yeah,
probably
like,
rode into David's house and blew him up.
No,
yeah,
David's
like,
down
yeah,
there.
like we just have a bunch. Like we have a bunch of skeletons underneath here. Like
Okay, so that's David. Let's see that one store right there. That's Brandon. Let's see.
That's Jordan. Jordan's trying to get on my horse.
Oh yeah, and then the explosion is destroying the great Dan XP. It was
Dan
such a
XP
big
Enterprises.
It was such a big deal. It was a big ass explosion. I won't even have to pull from the pit of what to destroy Charlie or Charles. Can you cut a Triple H promo? Well, this ain't my stream. I'd have to ask the co-host if I could cut a Triple H style promo.
co-host.
Style promo.
Or not my co-host. Sorry, the ever so gracious host, phenomenal one. If he would want me to cut a Triple H promo per the request of Legacy of Dragon.
Yeah. Go ahead. We got time.
Give me a second. All right.
Well, I think.
Wrong image, but you know what?
But that sums it up. In my picture, I'm just in the middle because everyone likes me, and I'm just kind of there, like, yeah, I'm having a good time. But Paige is ready for the picture, and Tom, I just thought that was funny because we looked at him and he looked so confused, and it's stuck.
Well, Tom, I can understand Tom being confused because he wasn't around when he made this. We just brought him into it, and Tom just being Tom just comes along for the ride.
Yeah, exactly.
Say, Denny Lewis, you shut the F up. I'm here to talk to Dan XP.
Oh, really?
Because on episode 40 of the Hangman Outcast, Dan XP, it's gonna be time to play the game. So I'm gonna ask you when I get my big long sledgehammer and I go Peter Gabriel on your monkey ass. So what are you gonna do when I take my big fat hammer and pow you? What the fuck is that?
Okay, what the fuck? I have no idea why that happened. Let's continue.
That was
Let's
what
continue. Let's continue.
of Tom's OnlyFans.
I don't even.
That's what happens. That's what you get when you buy Charlie's OnlyFans, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the content that he provides.
Yes.
I don't think that's Charlie.
I've heard many women partake in the
Partake.
and they say he's got a big schlong. So Dan XP episode 40. It's gonna be time to play the game.
What the hell's wrong with the guy?
Satisfied Dragon. Okay.
Oh man. But all right, but now let's get into the swing of it right now. But now that we've set the mood for the tone for the evening, let's get into the swing of things. First off, you guys, most of you guys probably don't know this, but you guys know I'm a big music person, so I want to give a big happy birthday, a nice happy birthday tribute to one of my favorite bassists of all time, the one only late great Mr. Cliff Burton, who would have been 59 today if he survived the crash in '86.
Damn.
But Cliff, thank you for Cliff, thank you for your inspirations. You've inspired a million other bass players around the world, and you're dearly missed in this world today. But with that out of the way, let's get into the main swing of things. And I want to talk about our real opening topic. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about what happened on TikTok.
What happened?
What happened? Charlie made an account.
He did actually.
Well, yeah, Charlie did make an account, and unfortunately,
He wants to join all the teenage girls.
Subscribe to that. If you are subscribed to his OnlyFans and his TikTok and all this other kind of stuff, we apologize in advance because we can't monitor Charlie 24/7. Yeah,
Exactly.
Much. But we're gonna talk about this lady who was stupid enough to put Gorilla Glue in her hair.
Oh yeah,
Oh my God.
I saw
And
that.
she went to the hospital to get it out, and they washed her hair, I think, over 15 times, and still couldn't get it out. And now she's filed a lawsuit against the people at Gorilla Glue, and people are sending her money to fight this case.
There you go.
Now, I know everything I've said sounds completely and utterly fucking stupid. And you're probably wondering, how did we end up like this in 2021? Honestly, I have no answer to that.
You know, that reminds me of a time I tried to wipe my ass with sandpaper, and then I tried to sue 3M. It didn't work out, so good luck to her.
Nice.
You know, it's the same logic it's just the same. The logic of putting Gorilla Glue in your hair, for being honest, is the logic of selling your phone so you can buy a charger.
Hey Dan, don't knock it till you try it.
Don't poison the man.
I mean, I'm thinking about getting some Gorilla Glue in my hair later on. Maybe it'll really be like really good gel. Like maybe that's the kind of strength gel I'm looking for. Like these curls.
That'll definitely give you. That would
Yeah,
definitely
I
give you
know,
strength.
right? Like, I can't like.
I might get straight hair for the rest of my life after that.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be back.
You know what? Like a few months ago, I was thinking of getting Gorilla Glue and putting it on my hair, putting it on my chest hair, put on
Oh my God! Here we go. I'm Charlie getting live and uncut.
I was gonna do all that. So I wasn't gonna say the other stuff, you sick bastard. I was talking about the upper body. I'm sure you want me to say my junk and my thighs and all
I didn't
that.
want you to, but I mean, I figured that's the direction you were headed.
Well, now you got it because now you wanted to see and all that good stuff. You want. Oh, by the way, my OnlyFans went up $50. So if you really want to be on the exclusive, pay me $50.
Hey,
But
Charlie,
anyway,
hold these nuts.
huh?
Nothing. Continue.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, as I was saying, though, yeah, to the story at hand about this woman, this imbecile, this idiot, this dumbass, for putting Gorilla Glue. Okay, that's dumbass move number one. Dumbass move number two is fucking deciding that I'm going to sue because I'm a dumbass, not because they were wrong. Newsflash, Gorilla Glue ain't for your hair. So I hope the courtroom laughs, and I'm usually not a justice or courtroom person. I usually like for the little people to get their comeuppance on the people. However, I hope the courtroom laugh at her and throw her out of court and possibly put her in jail just for being a complete dumbass. Because let's be honest, someone like her, one thing I hope is that she doesn't reproduce. Because we are looking at the next dumbasses for the next generation, and I am fearful for my life. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the situation.
Oh, they will be driving soon, so you should be.
Who will be driving soon?
All these people, all these kids that eat Tide Pods and put Gorilla Glue in their hair. They're going to be driving in a few years.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So you wait for that. They're going to be run the red light challenge on TikTok.
Oh, God.
Wait.
Imagine them trying to eat Gorilla Glue as well.
Oh yeah, with the mix with the Tide Pods, give it like that texture. So
Yeah, like they probably just dip it in there like it's gravy or something.
Oh yeah, exactly. They'll use the Tide Pods as the sauce, and they'll harden up the Gorilla Glue, and then it's like, oh my god, these people! You wait. You think I'm joking? Wait till these viral trends. Wait till these kids that latch onto these viral trends are adults, and they start latching onto these viral trends.
Well, we've already had some pretty stupid and I might even go further into like the topic of TikTok trends because we've had some pretty stupid trends from people like using an emery board to chip their teeth to.
I've never seen that, but it's probably
the busted challenge. Anybody, that's like a new thing going on all around. We see like Mandy Rose and some of the wrestlers. I wouldn't have ever heard about it if any of the celebrities didn't do it. Then there's that silhouette challenge, which is pretty much a busted challenge, except you pretty much see them naked if you know how to, fix those.
Charlie with the advice on how to look at. Okay,
that's funny.
I'm sure David with his lotion and his napkins.
If you take the computer screen and you tip it upside down at the right angle and you set your brightness at
David's the tech guy, so how do we not know with all that lotion and all that napkins he has maybe I don't know what Phantom White. Let's see, Phantom White does a silhouette challenge and he freaking decides to see Phantom White naked.
Oh my god!
I know she's old and shit, but still,
she did do Playboy back in the 80s.
Oh,
don't let David know that.
David is man. He's old enough to make his own decisions.
So Dan, if
napkin and lotion merch. There you go. Get some. By the way,
napkins and lotion merch.
Oh, God. Good.
With a picture.
If David wants to, if David wants his white magic all over the bed, that's his decision.
I thought you were going to say something else. I thought you were going to say if David wants his white little. Never mind.
Well, that's going to be involved. It's going to be involved.
That's true. Yeah.
Gee, this is weird. And even if he does buy the Playboy magazine from the 80s, what are his parents going to think when they see the receipt from eBay or wherever he gets it? They're going to be like,
it's like any kid that, like, okay, let's say you're a kid or you're a teenager and you're watching Tori Wilson come out at the Royal Rumble. And you're so like you get so hot and bothered because you see this older woman who looks fucking stunning still to this day. And then you find out that she's on Playboy. You don't need to search her on Play. You don't need to search her on or get the Playboy magazine. You just search Tori Wilson Playboy or naked on Playboy, and boom, you have all the pictures you want on there. So unless his parents monitor his Google searches, then we got a problem.
I don't think they do. I don't think so.
Okay, then he's good. I don't read.
David says that he doesn't read them. He doesn't read magazines.
He says news, not news.
Watch the news.
Hey, David, shut the fuck up, Charlie. Which one's this one? Is this my boy Will or is this Dan?
It's Will.
Oh, I thought we were cool like that. I thought I'm gonna cry now. I'm gonna go in my corner.
Well, I mean, you've been bitching for an hour, so I mean, transitioning to crying isn't that hard.
I just came in to tell a story real quick. You guys want to hear my story?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
All right, here's my story. So I had this ex-girlfriend that gave great blowjobs, right? And there was this one time she gave me a blowjob that was so good that my dick stayed hard after I came, and she kept on sucking, right? And I came again, so I came twice. So I had a multiple orgasm, which I didn't even know was possible for a man to have. But then afterwards, I felt bad because I was like, my God, this woman just swallowed 3 generations of my children, possibly. Was I right to feel bad about it, or should I have just enjoyed the experience?
I'd say enjoy the experience.
I think you're a very cool guy for feeling bad, but I don't think I would. But nope. Teach its own.
Danny?
I'll say half and half.
I was feeling half and half, but at the end of the day, if you were able to do that, you probably came out more than likely. You probably came out on top with it.
Literally.
Mason, what's up?
That was a true story, by the way. But I didn't really feel bad. It was great. I enjoyed every fucking minute of it.
There you go.
The thing is, like, she couldn't reproduce anyway, so you know, it is what it is. You got to take the good with the bad, I guess.
Hey, Will, how much snow did you guys get on Sunday?
Last week with the big one.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got about 1.5 feet.
Yeah, it was nuts, man.
Yeah,
I was out there. It was going fast. I was trying to plow it, and it was coming out in like buckets. I couldn't even see. I was backing the truck up and hoping that I wasn't crashing into anyone's cars because couldn't see it at all.
I'll say this,
bro.
Congratulations to Will and Tom for having their boy win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, and congratulations to the Weeknd.
Appreciate
on a
that.
great halftime show.
And I will gladly accept your challenge, Charles. You can't out promo me, bro. It just ain't gonna work. You'll blame Tom for your losing. You'll blame Paige. You'll blame Jonathan. You'll blame Danny Boy over here. Hell, you may even blame Will or try to pull Will in to be your special judge so you can beat me. But you're not gonna out promo me, Charles. It ain't gonna happen.
How would I blame Jonathan? He barely speaks.
Because Jonathan, with the few words he says, can out promo you himself.
Jonathan, don't make me listen, and we'll go after each other with that. Anyway,
I was about to put Tom over big because you shovel snow and shit like that, right? Plowing and what have you.
Yeah, but last night I did both. I was out till like 6 a.m.
It's for those who haven't shoveled snow in their lives. Let me tell you, the two greatest exercises you could do on this planet. One of them is swimming. And the second one is plowing snow because you're working muscles that you didn't even know you had. Until the next day, when you start feeling the soreness, you're going to know your entire body is fucked. Just from
let me
shoveling
ask you,
snow.
Will, is it anything like ditch digging?
It's
Well,
comparable,
do you
but
ditch dig in like 20 degrees weather?
No,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to find something comparable because like we used to have to do, like
It's
we had to
more
do
like-
irrigation lines.
Yeah, I would say liken it to like shoveling wet sand. That's the only thing that I could liken it to.
And sometimes there's ice, so you gotta like pick at it, but you don't want to break your shovel because then you're fucked. So it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are elements I would never have to worry about. I have to worry about it being hot and then us digging too far into the clay or something like that.
Clay. I forgot you guys.
It's
have
more
clay.
about maintaining you got to maintain your balance while you're shoveling so you don't bust your ass or throw your back out. It's just a whole new experience. Plus dealing with the wind and the fucking cold. It's fucking, it hardens you real quick.
Oh, you'll be freezing, and then you'll get into shoveling, and before you know it, you're in a t-shirt and shorts. Because it's just like you get so hot because you're just working and working, and you're sweating to death, and then you start taking off your jacket, and then you're just like, oh god, I'm I come out of my truck to clean it off, and I'm wearing a t-shirt because I have that truck blasting it with heat, like blasting, so that the windows don't fog up from the cold air and the snow. So basically, when the snow hits the windshield and the mirrors, it melts. So I have that truck like 120 degrees, so that way there's no snow accumulation on my truck, so I can just keep plowing and not have to get out. But every once in a while, I have to get out, and it's like coming down like crazy, and it's, I don't know, something that people down south don't have to deal with. You get snow, but you don't get snow.
No, we don't get snow. We get like tonight. It's supposed to like sleet all night, so everything's gonna get like ice all over it. We don't get what y'all call powder. We get straight up ice. That's it. And people over here are like, "Oh my god, it's snowing." No, I've been up north. I've had to live in that shit. I've never experienced it to the degree y'all have. Like y'all, that's y'all's lives, man. But we don't get anything. We get fucking ice chips. That's what we get.
Well, we got a storm coming on Saturday night into Sunday. We have another storm that's possibly going to be on Tuesday. And then we got another storm that might be on Thursday. And then they're saying that on Sunday, again, there's going to be another storm. So we have 4 storms in the next week. That's
potentially like things can change.
That's the
on
curse.
The drop of a dime.
They're going to call it. They're going to call it the curse of Brady. Y'all kicked him to the side, and now he's going to curse you with ice.
No, we didn't do it. No,
You didn't
we
do
didn't
it.
do it. Our coach did, and he's a piece of fucking garbage. And I can't wait for him to have another losing season, and Robert Kraft tell him to go get fucked and ship him off to New York or something.
Wait till Brady
But,
plays Patriots next year. I think Tampa plays New England. Although I heard a rumor.
I was gonna say that these, with all the talk of the storms you were just talking about, like these people have never experienced what a nor'easter is, man, and you don't want to go through one of those things.
Hey, Charlie,
Yes.
you see Will's name?
Yes.
He can't read. Of course he
Enough
doesn't.
said.
Just
I'll
kidding.
catch you on a
My
coffee
chili
break.
dog, man.
Later, the Daniel experience. He's like Jimi Hendrix of.
I was about to ask how he was doing. He just had to insult me and all that good stuff.
You still have the. Oh my god.
Just for shits and giggles.
Okay, do you still got your leather pants?
Oh yeah, I see Dragon. One moment he's siding with me, calling him lotion and napkins, and the next moment he's calling me leather pants.
It's the
No, I
leather
don't,
pants.
unfortunately. I wish I did.
Hey, Will, you forgot. Did you hear last week? Charlie was talking about how he was the coolest kid in school, and then we asked him to describe his outfit, and he said he wore leather pants, tight leather pants.
Oh,
Tom,
you're one
I
of those
never
guys.
said I was the coolest. We made fun of the cool kids.
Yes, you said you were the coolest.
I put him. If I was to put him on for anybody, like in high school, he'd be like the one that's part of the group playing hacky sack. But he's got like the big baggy pants that are connected by a chain on the bottom that you buy at Hot Topic.
I could picture
That's what
that.
I'd put him on for.
Yeah. What do you have to say to that, Charlie?
See, I'm trying to think if that was like more of the emo type pants, or it could have
Not
been.
really. You're thinking of trips.
Huh?
The trips with like the chain and the baggy,
Yeah.
all the buckles and the.
See, like mine was more like inspired by Peter Steele of Type O Negative, Marilyn Manson, that type of stuff.
Yeah, but all those guys commingled with one another.
Yeah. And then if I grew my hair out a little bit longer and was able to grow a beard faster, I'll say this: I grew a beard faster than David. But probably would have went for more of a Rob Zombie look in high school if I could get away with that. Probably not, but I would have tried.
But
You're good, Jack. You know I'm fucking with you. I've always told you, you'll know when I'm being serious and when I'm fucking around. Wear leather pants, then rip.
Did that ever happen to you? Walking around school.
I'm trying to remember what I did. Oh, that's what I did. I made a mistake of giving them my ex.
Your leather pants.
Yeah, I stayed over for a few days and I forgot him.
How
And me and him
about
broke up a week later.
Let's be honest, Charlie. Would you even fit in them?
I probably fit in them more now than I would have been.
Really?
But,
Oh, they were. Wait a minute. How could they be? How was that possible?
I was a lot bigger.
That is a good question, actually.
So you're telling me that you've lost weight since high school?
Yes.
Nah.
That is not normal for a guy.
That really is unnormal.
When I was nearly 300 pounds, yeah, and it wasn't that like.
It happens. I just.
Yeah. I was like close to 300 back when I was in at the near end of high school. And then after that, I started walking a lot. And, what happened was it was a combination of that. I was trying to play football. That was one of the other reasons why I was trying to lose weight.
What position were you going out for? I mean, you don't have to lose weight to play football. You just have to.
No, it was like my goal was when I tore my ACL because that was like the great deal of pain I was in after that. Like now after I cut back to 180 from where I was previously, which again I probably was like 280 at the most. And when I cut back to 180, my leg has been a lot better off for it than it was like fucking 6 years ago, or not 6 years. So, well, I started losing weight like after everything healed. I just started walking. I started walking and eating light, and then I started eating the same as I did previously, but working out a lot. So That's why I've not gotten like a 6-pack or muscles or anything like that. Like my legs are good. I could fucking I could probably, if I did a fucking leg kick, I could probably break someone's leg in half if they have a weak fucking leg.
I don't believe that for a second.
Huh?
Well, you probably could, Charlie. I think you could. I think you could if you got yourself some rogue energy.
Oh my god!
That might give you the energy you need to break whatever you want with whatever muscle you need. And don't forget to use T. Willis at checkout.
Well, we went 40 minutes before you plugged this shit. That's good.
It's an opportunity.
That's called a good segue.
Yes.
Mhm,
I
yeah.
can't even wear skinny jeans. They don't fit they don't fit past my thighs. Ooh, Paige, you dog.
What?
What are you talking about, Charlie? You were like,
No, you said the thighs, Sam. Like the thighs are like one of the more attractive parts of a woman to me. But I said, Paige, you dog.
Hey, she's got thick thighs. I like that.
That's why you're my man. Why you my man? No matter what happens tonight, what happens next week or 8 weeks from now, you my boy. You my boy.
Charlie is my dude. Tom is my man. So,
yeah, I'm a man. You're a dude.
Hey, I just wanted to come in and tell my blowjob story. So you guys have a good one. I'll continue to listen. And best advice I could give you guys is if the first time you have anal sex with a woman, right, make sure you lube her up, because if you don't, it's gonna get messy. Take it easy, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I had to learn that the hard way. But
Thanks for the advice.
But yeah.
You know what's funny? We just had a discussion about this. Oh, Danny, you weren't even there. It was Dave. Dave was there. With
Right, you had a discussion.
We had a discussion about this last night.
David?
I told about my advice. I said, okay, David, if you fucking, I said, make sure you lube her up and fucking, I said, and please make sure she has an empty back door. Do not let her shit on you.
What, is he like preparing for something?
No, I'm just giving advice if you ever need it.
Wow.
It's like a recurring segment here now. I guess
it's safe to say I don't think David's gonna prepare for that, at least for like.
Oh, is that the podcast that I missed?
Yeah. Well, we did up the air, and then David, that motherfucker, he decided, and I'll give him credit. That was pretty fucking clever. I told him, you better, when you edit the video out, you should send me the uncensored shit so I can post it on my channel to promote your stream. And he's like, I'll put it on my stove, and you could buy it. And I'm like, David, I said, you're Danny-ing me. You're doing a Danny. And I'm like, okay, how much? He's like, $5. And I'm like, okay. So I said, when you upload it, let me know. I'll think about from there, and I'll be like, okay, David. So I like how you're getting a little more evil with your Dana. It seems like my powers are working slowly but surely with you.
Don't worry, we have a GoFundMe online, the Save David 3000 Fund.
Yeah. Well, and
Scooby and Charlie's advice.
Scooby just whispered a question in my ear, and I think it's really good. Scooby wanted to know, how come Charlie is so obsessed with David's sex life, it seems.
Charlie's made it his mission to get David laid.
Yes. So it's not me obsessed with his sex life in the sense I want to know everything, except if he loses Virginia on his chair. I just want to know for shits and giggles. But my goal is to get the boy laid, and who better to get him laid than of course yours truly. If I had an ambassador or assistant with me, it'd be Paige, and then the third person would be. See, David said not happening. Oh,
So basically, are you trying to get David pegged or something? Like,
not if he would. If he wants that, I'll get him a girl with a strap on. Like, I know a few here that I could get him to try.
Yeah, but Jenna makes a good point. You're like the hookup king, and maybe David's not looking for hookups. The only advice you can give him is hookup-like advice. See, Paige would be able to give him the better advice. I would be able to give him the better advice. I mean,
David, if you want to know what it's like to have an actual relationship, then just hit me up, bro. We'll get you a girl that you can actually have a relationship. It won't be just a one and done. I think Charlie is really pushing for. 'Cause I think
Yeah, that's what Charlie's pushing for. Not saying Charlie
most of his
doesn't.
experiences, from what we've seen, are ones and dones.
Correct.
Maybe they get
Ones and
maybe
dones.
they get like a second or a third, like the next day, or maybe a week down the road, or
I'm
or
good
maybe
where
they
I
get
am right now. Hey, David, okay, I'll say this. If I ever go up to work for Tom, I will say I will kidnap.
Oh yeah, did you bring that? Did you say that? Was it that? Could you tell him? Because I told Charlie, I said, if you ever need a job, my work's always.
I told David, yeah. I said, oh yeah. I told him, I said, yeah, I'll do that. I said, just to terrorize David. But I'll say this though. Me and Tom, since he'll be my partner in crime, he'll be my co-host in the show, my co-host in my grand schemes. We're gonna record it too. We're gonna kidnap you, David. We're gonna take you to Tom should know where, because he strip club. Remember this. We should find the nearest whorehouse in Massachusetts. We'll pay the girl to do everything to you.
I walk to one right now. Continue.
Yeah,
But honestly, my best advice really, David, is just stay celibate, don't have kids,
yeah.
don't get pregnant, don't get married until you're at least.
How could David get pregnant? It's like
He
David,
means don't get a girl
that we know?
pregnant.
Not know of?
He means don't get a girl pregnant.
Oh,
David could get an operation down the road. You don't know.
Dude, who knows?
Maybe he wants to take his baby face to another level, grow some long hair out.
Yeah.
He doesn't grow facial hair, so he has like a nice chisel.
Someone memed that. Someone memed David looking like a woman.
I don't want to imagine.
Instead of his name being David, it'll be Denise.
Denise.
Or Davey.
Davey. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Or DeVille, like Sonya Deville.
Ooh.
DeVille. Yeah, that's a good one. Instead of David, it'll be DeVille.
Double D.
I'm Double D.
Well, if they call it like if you take the S out and it's DeVille Dennis, so it's Double D. Well, no, you're Double D. I said, but you need to wear the beanie more.
Well, it's winter.
For the love of God. For the love
winter.
of God. I can't even work 5 minutes without hearing this guy say something so stupid that I have to step in. Anybody listening within a 30-mile radius of Charlie, he is not the man to be listening to about sexual or relationship advice. When you have to go to the free clinic every other day to get checked, that's not a good thing. When you have to go to Planned Parenthood to get condoms because you can't fucking afford them, that's Charlie. You don't want to be that guy. The guy has admitted to fucking Strange on the couch with her child in the crib in the next room. He forgets the names of half the girls he sleeps with. David 3000, man of the future, love you to death. Not the one to listen to. You live in West Newbury. You go find a nice all-American bank teller girl or some chick who works at Chick-fil-A or something like that. Don't listen to Charlie. I'm sure Tom. You shut up, Charlie. You shut the hell up, Charlie. You're trying to corrupt and ruin this entire young fan base. You got someone like Tom you can listen to, a family man, handsome-looking guy, smart, intelligent, understands what the pit of avarice is, which Charlie couldn't even spell the word. Listen to someone like Tom. Listen to someone like Paige, who has a steady relationship. Beautiful young lady. Shout out to Jenna. What's up, boo? Hope you're doing well. Listen to someone, Danny, you hang out with a Scooby. Shit, you can't really.
Yeah, I've never had a relationship. I just don't have the time. I'm too busy.
Listen to someone like Jonathan Hanna, strong silent type, speaks very well. Women probably flock all over that because they're waiting to catch the next thing he's going to say. Do not, by any stretch of the imagination, listen to Charlie. All right? Charlie's going to Jack in the Box and trying to pick up the checkout girl. That's what Charlie does.
I'm going to 7-Eleven trying to
shut your face.
Charlie's like, I don't know how I got COVID. I just don't know how I got it. It could have been at work. Charlie, we all know how you got it.
He got it from the horse.
Damn, we lost Danny.
I'm surprised you didn't get any more tests other than that.
I'm seriously. And probably the only reason he knows he had it, he's probably had it 4 times by now, didn't realize it, but he had to go to the free clinic to get checked out after the last sexual experience he had. Charlie, cooking oil is not lubricant. All right, it's not. Sometimes it's okay to say no, Charlie. You know, just because you think it might be, you'll never get any afterwards. You don't have. There's not an expression of if you don't use it, you'll lose it. It's going to be there, Charlie. You can take your time.
By the way, did you get my message on Twitter about my gamer tag on Xbox?
No, I did not.
Really? I thought I sent it. I'll check. And
I figured out was wrong with my Xbox. It's the port in the back. That's why I haven't been able to get on, but I fixed it, I think. So I'm working on stuff. Anyway.
Okay. Did you put the HDMI in the wrong port?
Like Charlie puts things in the wrong port? No, no. It's.
I knew it.
No, it's just older, so I gotta like tweak it, like on my Super Nintendo back in the day. But no, like seriously, Tom is a smart, educated, good-looking dude, hard worker. Listen to him, David. Paige, y'all could take advice from this guy. He clearly knows what he's talking about. He's got enough kids to start his own Patriots football team. He can do it. Charlie takes a shit on the toilet and streams. Is that really what y'all want, boys and girls? And this is me cutting a promo. This is me cutting a promo on Charlie about his sex life. This is a guy who cuts his own hair with a can of soup. Like seriously. No. I cannot let. Okay, if you listen to Charlie, half the country's going to be sterile. Just putting it out there. The guy would fuck a light socket.
What?
What? This is all true. I mean, this is facts.
That's probably why
Charlie is a
probably why it burns too much down there, man.
Charlie, when it burns, that's not a good sign. That's called the clap.
He's like, ooh, this is a good sensation. I feel all day, 24/7.
Let me just throw it out there. Charlie, I love the guy. Really do. He's a novelty. He's a cheeky fellow. But as a role model, please, the guy, no, please don't ever listen to the things Charlie has to say. Unless, you're talking to Charlie Long. Charlie Long, nice guy. Great to talk to. Hangman Charlie is a damn fool.
This is his persona online.
So anybody listening, including Tom's kids who apparently listen to Hangman Charlie,
I banned him.
Hey Tom, I told my mom about that. She laughed so hard when I told her about saying anyway. God.
Hey, my son goes. I don't know if I told anyone watching, but I was sitting at my mother's house one day and we're just watching TV, and my son comes running down. And he's like, Dad, Hangman Charlie wanted to say happy birthday to you, and I'm like, well, what do you mean? What are you talking to Hangman Charlie for? He's like, Hangman Charlie's latest video. And I was like, you're watching what? I ran up there, shut it off. I told him you're not allowed to watch Hangman Charlie.
Paige, you're going to have to put on like a lower third on every one of your videos that said the views and expressions of Hangman Charlie do not represent Live and Uncut. You're going to have to do that because you're going to get so many legal battles.
I know.
You're going to get sued, Charlie. In this day and age, with a chick, and this is me bringing it full circle. The chick with the Gorilla Glue hair, they're going to sue you like she's suing Gorilla Glue, and they're going to win because this world is stupid now. Do you not remember years back the two fat asses who sued McDonald's and won for making them fat? That's real talk, bro. That's how stupid this world is.
Episode of Family Guy that
Shut up, Charlie. Shut up.
I was bringing out some of the
Charlie, shut up. But you've done enough damage. Paige, you're going to get sued because of this man. Lower third. Think about it. Tom makes beautiful thumbnails and shit. Invest in that for your own safety. That being said, I'm Dan. I'm from the helicopter, and I got to go get out of this blizzard. Tom, protect these people. You have a responsibility. You're a father, damn it.
Nah. I just protected 6 people last night on the snow crew, and I lost one of them. And then I call my boss, and I'm like, I lost one of the guys. I literally just showed up, and the guy disappeared. He didn't know. And I ended up finding him later on. So no, I'm not. I did enough of my responsibilities.
You're ruining that hoot thing earlier, and this. You're losing points, Tom. You're killing me. I have such high respect
Dan.
for you.
You want to come to the Twitch world, you have to understand how to do Twitch. If you don't understand how to do Twitch, then you don't follow the way I do it, then you're doing it wrong.
I need to buy your new book. All right, I'm out.
All right.
Charlie doesn't understand Twitch yet either. He's learning though.
But just to clear the views of Hangman Charlie, do not represent the world of Live and Uncut or the Lounge.
David,
disclaimer. So if you're gonna sue somebody, sue the man with the Marilyn Manson pick, especially because Marilyn Manson is in high water as is right now.
Which I did talk about it. I am for Team Manson, but David, for once, please start sorry. Jed, are you talking to me like that? I thought we were cool. David, Charlie loves interrupting. This coming from the guy who interrupts everybody for a living. Agreed. Phenomenal. Do you agree David interrupts more than anybody?
No, you and Charlie are. I mean, David and Charlie are pretty neck and neck, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're neck. I'm with Tom on that one. You guys are near the same level.
Yeah.
We'd have to.
Charlie is a heel.
We'd have to get you two together to see who would do it more in one.
Yeah.
One show, and we'd have to like when we'd actually have to have like an actual counter. Maybe you both show up for the lounge.
They'd have to be unaware, though, Paige. They have to be unaware that we're keeping count.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna keep quiet on it.
Yeah, it'll happen one of these days.
So yeah, like maybe the next time you guys show up for the lounge, you guys can show up. But hey, we have a newcomer to the world of Live and Uncut, the one and only Legacy of Dragon.
Hello, and thank you, Phenomenal One, for allowing me in your platform. I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, man.
And by the way, Amen, Charlie, why you say AJ gets dead XP? You should have done a better promo than that, you stupid wannabe AJ Styles / DDP John Cena wannabe DDP Mae Young fucker.
Wow. Whoa.
Hey, the reason why I wasn't saying anything is I was studying his mannerisms, studying his vocabulary. So once I own him on episode 40, I got a good game plan going. I got like a good like he's the Chiefs and I'm the Buccaneers. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Hey, well, it's always good to be prepped 24/7.
Oh yes, but I gotta go like my hero Brady and make sure they don't get no fucking touch.
Charlie, when did all of a sudden Tom Brady become your hero? Like I noticed,
like my hero for years, Tom. You ever been
all of a sudden in the last week, you're just like Tom Brady, my hero.
plus my one of my good friends, he was wanted to be in the Chiefs, and then one of my former
well, that's easy,
fans, she wanted to be.
Never bet against Brady. Never.
Yeah.
And if you, in the moment. Never bet against him ever. Just the fact. That's stupid for you to do. Even when
one of my one night stand, she wanted to be one of the Chiefs, and I kept saying, "How about them Chiefs, huh?" And she's like, "Sure."
I don't know what happened to the Chiefs. That was horrible. I was plowing that night, but I was hearing I was listening to it, and I was talking to people as I was doing it, and then everyone was just saying that watching it was very boring because the Chiefs just couldn't do anything.
Well, let me guess. Were the Chiefs being overwhelmed?
It kind of. I think that Tampa being at home definitely played a factor. The fact that Chiefs are in the Super Bowl is stress enough. But then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at home in the Super Bowl, which has never been done. So that's it must have been a huge relief for them. Just think about it. Yes, it's the Super Bowl. And then it's Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, which he's already been to 9 of them at that point. So to him, it's not. I wouldn't say it's the feeling is easy, but I would guess that it's a lot easier than the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth, and sixth, and seventh time. I would imagine at some point it feels somewhat manageable.
Wait, what about their game plan, their statistics? Did that play a factor of how they play too?
The way Brady always does things, I don't know how he does it in Tampa. But how he does it in New England is basically they always plan out the first drive, sometimes the first 2 drives. And no matter what, they stick to the script. And the reason why they need to stick to the script is because they need to then look and see how the defense reacted. And then they go back and they be like, well, when we did this run on 3rd down, what did they do? What formation were they in? And they analyze it based on that. Now, I don't know how Brady does it in Tampa, but this is how he did it in New England. I'm assuming it's the same. And yes, his game planning is the best. But then don't forget that he has this amazing defense that New England kind of had in recent years. But last year with COVID, they weren't as good as they were. And then they just weren't where they needed to be. And then the year before that, it seemed like they lost a step.
I really thought the Steelers were going to make it.
I've been thinking the Steelers were going to make it for years. And I think that Ben Roethlisberger is just too old. It's just he's reached his potential, and I don't see them. I think they need to figure something out now more than ever. I think they're good, but I don't think they're playoff good. And there's a big difference. Think about it.
Shit, guys. I don't mean to interrupt, but this is actually something,
Oh my God. This better be like.
Gina Carano was fired from Star Wars Mandalorian.
Any particular reasons?
I'm looking right now. I'm assuming because she's been a little bit controversial with some of her remarks recently. Let's see. I'm looking right now. Again, this is the one time I'll arrow drive like, this comes after Gina Carano shared several controversial and anti-Semitic posts on her social media, the backlash, off which led to hashtag Fire Gina Carano trending on Twitter on Wednesday. Let's see. And let's see. While Carano has had a history of making controversial posts, including expressing transphobic views and denying the validity of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, her post in recent days caught a lot of attention. This included an anti-Seminole post comparing the current political climate to Nazi Germany.
Hey, Charlie, was that hard to read?
No, I kept getting notifications saying, "Hey, accept cookies." The cookies on the web browser. I'm like, no, fuck you.
So, well, I want to. This is off topic too, but I want to bring this up real quick. So, for those that invest in stocks, and I've been pushing this stuff for a while, I do want people to understand like the power of cryptocurrency right now, and I want to see exactly where Bitcoin is at the moment. But Bitcoin shot up like $12,000 like in one day. Right now it's at $44,000. Last week it was at $33,000. That once Amazon starts accepting cryptocurrency as a form of payment, it's going to jump up even more. Bitcoin, not even just Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency right now is the future of investing. Like that's what you should invest in. It doesn't take a genius to know that. If you have any money that you want to invest right now, you don't even need to buy a full coin at $44,000. Buy this. Invest into cryptocurrency. That's where the future is going to be held. That's where it's going to happen, especially with in a world where it's becoming more and more online. That's where it's going to be. But in the same talk about, cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, which is considered a meme coin. It's like this big meme thing. Oh, Doge, it's a dog with a friggin', it's just a dog meme. Okay. Well, I do think that there's a place for memes. And I think that if you invest in memes, it's not a terrible thing. I think memes are very popular and memes do drive views and memes do drive money. And that's why people put memes on their thumbnails and memes have a place in society. So for all those idiots that just turn around and say that Dogecoin is a meme coin, the fact that it has an identity will mean that it's going to be worth something, because 90% of these other coins that don't have any identity, they're just another coin. And Bitcoin is the top coin. This Dogecoin, I believe, does have the future. Now, right now it's worth 7 cents. Now you might be like, oh, that's nothing. Well, a year ago it was worth 0.3. So, okay, a year ago it wasn't even close. If we go to like last week, it was 3 cents. Now we're at 7 cents. If you were to take $20,000 right now and throw it into Dogecoin, and right now it's projected to be at $1 next year, think about the profit you're going to make. It went up 4% just today. Like you'll make if you put $1,000 down on this, you're going to make 4% of that right off the bat. Doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, it's been going up. Every stock dips, but that's also what people should invest in. I mean, you could invest in the AMC, all that garbage, whatever. AMC will probably go up again because the summer's coming and people are going to want to go. So that's possible. I wouldn't invest in anything else, but cryptocurrency is the future, and Dogecoin has an identity and the other ones don't. So yes, there is a way. Unfortunately, right now, cryptocurrency, Amazon doesn't accept it. But eventually, once it does, watch all these coins shoot up, especially Bitcoin. But anyway, go ahead, Charlie.
Reference to a comment I just read. I do have to make some agreements that the fact that our political climate right now,
Charlie's smoking,
is pretty terrible. It is just we are very divisive. in the world right now, and it's very, and it's hard for a lot of people, and there's just a lot of tension between a lot of people politically. Do I and I definitely think that, and I definitely do agree with what Dan's saying. The fact that if you compare it to Nazi Germany, I do think that is a little bit of a stretch to go.
Of course, it's not Nazi Germany, because in Germany they weren't threatening their citizens with COVID; they were threatening their citizens with gas. So it's a little different. Yes, either both would cause suffocation and you coughing to death, but two totally different things, and one led to a war. I don't see a war coming from COVID. I don't. I see an internal war probably coming from our own citizens, but again, Nazi Germany wasn't a civil war. That was far from it. That was a swift, you're going to go in the gas chamber. No war.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
Then it started a war. But my point is, there never was a war within the country. It is what it was. And then they took over the world. And then the German citizens started to realize, whoa, we're actually powerful. And they probably got high on that power. And they all jumped on the bandwagon as they were taking over Poland, taking over all these other countries. And then America came in and took back France, moved down Europe, had some setbacks, still kept pushing. And then we basically, make a long story short, we dropped a bomb in Hiroshima. And here we are today on Live and Uncut. And that's how it
Oh, man. Tom, you should be a history teacher.
Hey,
I could imagine history classes with you just being very funny, just being very fun.
well, I tell you this.
I was in one of my, I forget what it was. I think it was an English class, and my professor said that I had this idea about school, this crazy idea, this concept that I'm a nutto for saying, I guess, but trust me, this would work. So kids these days are so focused on quick 10, 15-minute videos. Boom, 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 boom. But you're expecting these same kids that are learning more on YouTube with 10, 15-minute videos to sit in class for an hour and a half and listen to a boring professor. My school would be run like a YouTube video, and classes would only be 20 minutes, and they would be shifted around, and they would be shifted around a lot, because trust me, kids are learning more in those 20-minute videos than they are in these hour-and-a-half classes. That's a fact. And people need to study how kids are learning on YouTube and incorporate that in the American education system. Because the fact that my kid is remembering random stuff on YouTube, like random stuff, but yet they can't remember what they're doing in their homework, tells me that school doesn't have it figured out. And that's been around since the beginning of America, but yet YouTube figured it out. It's because these people know engagement, and our teachers don't. I mean, not all teachers, just there's a good portion of them that are just, they teach how they were taught to teach, and they're not looking at alternative methods. And that's what I would do. I would look
Hey,
at
Tom, since you're talking about that, there is a YouTuber that is a part of our group. She's here in San Antonio. Just go on, that talks a lot about how the school system is. Mind you, she's 18 years old. She's not like this fucking, like my age, your age, Tom, Dan's age, so on and so forth. This is a fucking 18-year-old. And go on my YouTube channel under the featured channels, Megan Drayton.
Okay.
She talks a lot about.
You're gonna have to text me that. You're gonna have to message me that, because I'll forget after this episode. My mind's like this late at night.
Yeah, I tell you, she's for someone as thank you, Jester, for someone who is fucking as young as she is, to have as much knowledge as she does. Like this chick, I shit you not, this chick at 18 going into 19 is fucking in real estate. She's selling houses now in San Antonio, like and all that. She's probably, like, I would call her, she'd probably be above David in like our biggest young creators in our group.
I didn't even know. See, I'm always so focused on what I'm doing that I only interact with the people I see. You know what I mean? The people that I see.
Yeah. Also, a plug for myself, but a plug for her too. I did interview. I'm wanting but she's very busy, so it's kind of difficult. But I want to interview her again for Hangman Outcast. I believe it's Hangman Outcast episode 9. It was
I think I watched that. I think I've seen her because if it's on the Outcast, I remember before I asked about the co-host thing, I wanted to make sure the Outcast was something that I wanted to co-host. So I watched a few of your videos, and I think I seen that one. She was well spoken. She was well spoken. She almost, no offense, but she almost felt like she didn't know what she walked into at first with the Outcast because it seemed like such a weird dynamic. There's Hangman Charlie, and then there's some girl trying to talk about the educational systems like it's friggin' the BBC network or something.
Well, and she's a big horror fan too, so we were able to talk about that too. So we had. So I was able to let her talk about her topics and all that, and then we discuss about that because,
I only know about the educational system because my wife worked in the department, and she said the biggest issue with it was that they have a curriculum that they plan around testing, and then mid curriculum they change the curriculum to fit a new test because the state decides they want a new test. But the problem is these kids are being geared to learn something for a test that may or may not even matter because they may change the test last minute. So everything those kids had learned up until that point is null and void. So at the end of the day, they're constantly changing what these kids need to learn. It's not just a Massachusetts thing. It's across the country thing. The whole structure needs to be changed. I've talked to a lot of people about it. Like I said, my professor I've spoken to, she had brought it up because she had also taught in high school. So she brought it up too. And she agreed. And then I brought up my concept. I was like, school should be run like a YouTube channel. Kids should be able to leave comments. I don't care. Leave a kid in one. Honestly, people say too much screen time. Whatever. Leave a kid in front of a TV set at school. Or now with digital learning, it should be even easier. With digital learning, it should be even easier to put on a production for the kids. All you got to do is go on OBS. I'm not trying to educate these teachers in how to. Trust me, everyone asks me how to do OBS. All you got to do is do a virtual cam and then use that virtual cam on Zoom. And then boom, all of a sudden you can do a stream for all the kids. You can do a live stream for the kids. Very simple. Well, to me, it's simple. I can understand why it's not simple, but my point is you can learn it. It's like playing an instrument. Just learn how to use the instrument and then you'll be good to go. So you'll learn how to use the instrument in OBS and then boom, you'll captivate the kids.
Hey,
we'll love school because it'll be like a live stream.
Is it possible that people are getting too lazy to actually teach people or make effort?
Well, I don't think that 18 is too young. Sorry, let me speak to Will. I don't think 18 is too young to be a teacher. It depends on high school, yes. Elementary school, you're fine. I think I had young elementary school teachers, but elementary school, you're fine. I mean, even middle school, you'd be fine, I guess. But elementary school is where an 18-year-old teacher should start. High school, because trust me, I know in situations with 18-year-old high school teachers. Trust me, it gets messy. But other than that, yeah, it is too young. I agree. If they're going to do a high school thing, go ahead, Paige. Sorry.
My thing mainly is just the way that lots of ways that schools will try to get funded. I think that's the big problem with a lot of schools is that lots of schools really don't have resources in order to really teach and really provide the kind of atmosphere that kids really need. Because in a lot of places, unless your school is doing well academically and test-wise, you're not going to get as much money. So
yeah,
there's a lot
that's
of
a good point.
Underdeveloped schools that really need that money,
especially in smaller towns, not cities. Yeah,
and they're not gonna get it.
I mean, certain cities get like Boston has really, really good schools. And Boston has good colleges. Boston is just a good place to be. But then there's smaller cities, like a city of New Bedford, or city of Fall River. These are other cities in Massachusetts. Those cities don't get as much of the funding. Trust me, I lived in Fall River for a little bit. I lived in New Bedford for a little bit. And those cities, a lot of the kids didn't even have public transportation, through school buses. They had these kids in middle school that needed to go to the bus station and then with their voucher and then jump on a bus to go to school. They didn't have an actual yellow school bus to go on. The school didn't have enough money to provide that type of transportation. So the alternative was to use the subway. It's crazy to me that they did that. But my point is, like, what's crazy to me is next year my kid's gonna have to walk to school because I live too close to a school, so they're gonna have to walk right where the main road is, down the main road. I already said I'm gonna drop my kid off at the end of the main road. I'm not gonna have them walk down that road. I don't know who's gonna be driving by and what it is. It's too busy to me anyway. Maybe
that'd be the same. That'd be the same for me. There's a school not, I'd say about maybe 10 minutes away, walking.
Yeah.
And that'd be the same thing. Either A, if I have a car, I'm driving, or B, I'd be walking with her. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk with my daughter. I'm gonna walk with my son for like in the summer leading up to it, so they know the route, and then eventually I could be comfortable. But at this point, it's like that's crazy. It's nuts. Sorry about that. Sorry for taking off topic, but I know we were talking about school systems, and that's another thing. Schools don't have funding for buses. That's why they can't pick my kid up a mile away. They don't have the funding.
Money, Dan XP said, money has corrupted all facets. If COVID has shown anything, is that anyone can be bought for the right price. Yeah.
Oh, of course. Look at some of these businesses that are allowed to operate, and other businesses that do the same damn thing can't operate the same way. Why is it that Walmart can absolutely not impede to any rules? Half of their sanitizer things aren't full. They got people walking everywhere, all over the place. I mean, honestly, it's no different. Right now, Walmart is no different than it was prior to COVID, other than people wearing masks. At least in Massachusetts, it's no different.
Can I say something real quick about that?
Go ahead.
Here's a perfect case.
Let me just finish my thoughts so people don't get confused.
Yeah, go ahead.
My point is, these smaller businesses can't be open. More than 25 people can't be there. They're totally different. It's like, how do you make money? But yet these big corporations have like it's business as usual. Like, it's ridiculous. The fact that there's a tire place down the road from me. Certain tire places, this is earlier on, were allowed to be open because they were needed for government, cars, whatever their contract is. But the ones that weren't contracted to operate on government licensed vehicles or government contracts, they couldn't be open. So now we're going to pick and choose who's allowed to be open or not. So now we're going to pick and choose which businesses are going to go under or not. I mean, my thing is CDC makes a guideline and everybody follows it. It doesn't matter what you did, everybody follows it. Okay, go ahead.
For a second. I'm going to switch from my phone or from my computer, my tablet, because I'm about to head out. So I just wanted to let you know before I leave. All right.
Okay. All right. But Paige, you're going to want to say something now.
Sorry for interrupting, Tom.
It's all right. But Paige, you can go ahead. It's your show.
Oh man, I don't even know where I was gonna pick up after that, but like we were having a good conversation about it. So like, I have nothing to say against it.
Because that's just weird because Charlie was supposed to say something, then he left, so it kind of left us in a weird spot.
Oh well. How you doing, brother? Tom?
I'm doing good. I just did a stream earlier. I appreciate you being there.
Yeah,
no problem, dude.
I ended early because I wanted to raid Paige's stream. I figured it would be a nice boost for his Twitch.
Thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Definitely gave me a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
So is this how you?
He's really killing it on Twitch. It's definitely Tom. Like, no doubt about it.
So is this how you guys promote each other?
The raid, I do raids. I don't do raids enough, but I should. Raids is a great way to bring people, because it's hard to get people to move over to another stream. It's hard to get people to move to another platform. People don't like to do that. I don't know what it is. I don't know how hard it is to just click over to another thing. People don't like to do it. So you got to like kind of guide them, like guide them, like open the gate. Say, here, go. So I kind of like did that. That's how I do it. But I used to do it a lot. That's actually how I got affiliated in the first place. Is I'd start my streams, and then at the end of my stream, I'd accumulate like a person or two, and I'd find somebody that was less. But then it got to the point where when I was doing my Diablo streams, I was the #1 streamer on the Diablo spot. Like once I finished the game, I was done, but I was #1. So I got like legit, I got like 13, 14 people watching me. So then I'd look for smaller channels that were under that, and I'd raid them because I want to be like, I got all these viewers and I think they'll like this. They're less than me, so they're going to appreciate it. So I send them over there, and then they see it, and then their audience sees it, and then they come back to me, and then they see my audience, and that's how I kind of got to grow. And then I kind of stopped that. I really stopped doing some of the promotional stuff that I used to do, which I got to get back onto. I've been so focused on like helping everybody else, and I've been so focused on like my setup. Like I haven't been really promoting like I used to. But yeah, that's how I usually promote. Yeah.
Cool, bro. That's great. Maybe one day I'll get on Twitch one day.
Twitch is a good platform. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna.
I heard out.
I'm definitely gonna start doing more on Twitch. That isn't this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitch is hard. Twitch is hard to do a podcast on. I've tried to do it since 2017. I tried to do it. It doesn't work. Twitch is more of like
I mainly just use it for more so for replay.
Yeah, that's always good. Replay is good. It's good. It's not a good archive spot because even people that are partnered every video is on there for a time. None of them are there forever. But it's good. Like it's like think of Twitch as like a hangout. Like this is you and your friends sitting in the living room. You're playing a video game and everybody's around you watching, or you're all just talking. Like there's no. But YouTube's more. How did I say it? I had a good analogy one time.
I remember you saying that like YouTube is much more video oriented and Twitch is much more streaming oriented.
Yeah, but there's an analogy I used with Charlie one time. YouTube is like the late I don't know, I can't remember the exact one I used, but
okay, I'm back.
Charlie, remember when I said when I did an analogy where I was telling you YouTube was like one thing and Twitch is like another thing? Do you remember what I say? I say a lot of things. I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Say something about the audience is different.
Yeah, I said that the audiences are different because when you go on, people are expecting to learn something when you watch YouTube, like videos like this. And on Twitch, people are expecting to like just hang out and chill.
Also, basically, YouTube's kind of like in a way for like educational, and Twitch
not
is
just
like
educational. YouTube's like television, and Twitch is like old YouTube, which is kind of weird. Twitch is like how YouTube was like 2013 and behind, where like the hangout stuff. I don't know. It's a weird thing. To what Dan was saying when I was doing the hoot thing, like it's just to like be like fun, like just like it's not supposed to be all like tense. Like this isn't freaking the Jimmy Fallon show. I don't have everything scripted out. I'm not gonna I'm on Twitch. I'm trying to get people engaged. I'm trying to get people to enjoy. There can't be a dull moment. Like I need to be able to constantly find new ways to bring content. So that's why when you had this song, I wanted to play it on stream, and I tried to like do stuff like it's. I'm just trying to think of ways to keep it engaging so that people don't step away, because every second you stream, that may be the 1 second that somebody turns on the video. And the thing is, people only have a 2-second attention span, if not less. So they're going to click your video, they're going to watch it for 2 seconds on Twitch, and they're going to move on to the next one. So you need to be able to captivate somebody for like 2 seconds every 2 seconds you stream. Well, 2 seconds to do it. Now it's not impossible, but if you stream for an hour and 20 minutes, then you better make those 100 minutes engaging. At least 100 minutes of those need to be engaging.
Hey, how was the song that I sent?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, that was good. What did you think about? I tried to like play. I noticed I forgot to turn it down at one point because I like had it blasted, and then I switched the scene back to the gameplay, and it was like wicked loud when I looked at OBS, because OBS is behind me. Like OBS isn't in front of me anymore because I changed my setup a little. Now I got. I just have a different. I'd rather have OBS behind me because I put more space in front of me, and I don't need to look at OBS 24/7. I just need to glance at it every once in a while. But I missed that. And that's one of the reasons I needed to like keep an eye on it more, or I need to look at my webcam and make sure that it's doing good. But yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing I wish I did better.
I like the polka music when you were dancing to it.
Hey, is that Davis for music?
I don't know anything about that. I'm not going to be lying. I really don't know. All I know is he talks about it a lot. Him and Danny.
Well, maybe.
But anyways, Hangman.
Yeah, he had something he wanted to say, and then he ditched us.
Oh, I didn't know if this was like when he said Hangman. I thought it was time for the main event, but okay.
Well, technically, we don't. Well, I'm not gonna call it the main event. I'm just gonna call it the big topic, for now. But mainly because the main event is gonna be used by, ironically, our main event topic, which is actually kind of funny, and very ironic in a way. But Hangman, of course, us being horsemen. Yesterday we tried to make a deal.
Oh yes, a very good deal, mind you.
We tried to make a deal for a show. Unfortunately, the person we were making a deal with just decided to leave us and stiffed us.
I know, right?
Yeah, we got.
We should stiff him now for a lesser deal. Be like, hey, you could have gotten a good deal, but then you ran out on, so we've altered the deal. Pray I don't alter it.
To offer some mad cap to financially invest and take over, but we were to no avail. And in case
I know.
you don't know what we are talking about, we're gonna be talking about the show that every Thursday you see advertisements for, but very seldomly you'll actually stick to actually watch the whole thing. And that is the Rant and Rave podcast.
Wow, that's harsh, but probably true.
Well, yes, like Mr. Brandon Martin, I called Live and Uncut and the Hangman Outcast the future of podcasting. And then we were going to overtake Rant and Rave in terms of success. I have my mask on, so that's why I sound muffled, just FYI. But anyway, and then Brandon came in there spewing his bullshit. And I was saying, I said it would be a battle interpromotional battle between you and Jordan, Brandon and Jordan, versus me and Tom. I said, guess what? It'd be a fight you would lose. But
just to be clear, Charlie, not to pump us up or anything, but if me and you could stick to a schedule and actually put a lot of effort into producing the Outcast, we could overtake Rant and Rave in a year. Not maybe less, but I'd give us a year. We'd overtake them if we could actually produce it like they do, and I could go out and find guests, because I have no problem finding guests. I just don't do it. I could find us guests. Trust me, I've had guests line up for previous podcasts. I could find us guests. We could get the whole thing going. We could overtake them in a year. I guarantee it. The thing is, I don't have time to do that and my Twitch stream. But if I had time for that, we were able to go every week on time like they do.
You dominating?
We would dominate them. And they can. I know they're watching, but I'm telling you right now, that's fact. If they don't like it, if they don't like hearing that, then prove us wrong. Prove us wrong.
And Hangman, we were talking about this topic, I think, for a little bit last. We were talking about this topic a little bit last night, but I figured I think that we'd better to be fair and to be honest. I think we need to give it the live treatment.
Yeah.
For the sake of fair live treatment, and we're gonna and this was originally gonna be me comparing Rant and Rave to Hangman Outcast. That's what this originally was going to be, but after some talking, I figured I could devote a whole segment to Rant and Rave, and the next week I'll devote a whole segment to Hangman Outcast.
I don't know if I'll be able to be a part of next week, but I will. If I don't watch it live, I'll watch the replay. Just FYI.
Yeah, because both shows they have some similarities, but they have also some very brightening differences. And considering the fact that I've contributed topic wise to that show twice, and I've contributed more in Hangman's manner, particularly more in a vocal manner. I'm just the expert in because I keep everything unbiased.
That's true.
So, I'm gonna start off with, and there's a lot of stuff to be taken in. I'll start off with some positives. One thing that you really have to praise that show for is the fact that it's consistent. Say what you will, but say what you will, but for better or worse, every Thursday they're on. They're on. You see them, and they're going at it. And to an extent, it's worked for them really well. I'll have to give them credit where credit is due. They're on every Thursday, and people know the slot. People tune in, and it works. It works for them. It's my first positive. My second positive, even though personally, my second positive is that for a knockoff logo of TNA, it's not bad.
Agreed.
Now, do I agree with the fact that that Jordan and Brandon split money for 50-50? That's up for debate, but
Well, yeah, just do what I do and wait 9 months till the time I can get up early to be on Tom's stream.
We'll be right back.
all right.
You better go making my logo, ho. Anyway, don't just love the guy. Anyway, continue, Paige.
Yeah. So, they have the logo, and the logo, even though the logo does look pretty good, and you have to give the logo its due. Now, I also will give them props for this, is that they are trying to branch out to other social medias. I think that's something that that definitely needs to be looked into. They have a Twitter, they have a Facebook, although part of me feels like they should have their own YouTube channel to an extent, but I understand why they use the Brandon Martin YouTube channel because it has the biggest audience out of any of the hosts. So, they get some points. They get some points there. The fact that they, have they have social media reach. I'll put it to you that way. They have social media reach. You have any positives?
Oh, me?
Charles?
Well, pretty much to go with what you say, and I would say that, like what Tom said earlier, they've had some notable guests on the show, and I'm just talking about like YouTubers like myself or so on and so forth, but they've had wrestling promoters, legends like Just Incredible, so on and so forth on their streams, so they've been able to get exposure through to people that they know, and even with what you call it, even with the t-shirts, they have their own, like they don't have their own like self store, but they have a partner with Brainbuster Tees, so they're getting not only about social media, but they're trying to market them, have a lot of marketability for themselves, and plus stuff with Danny's Redbubble, even because I even looked on there and I saw Red Rave stuff on Danny's site. So those are some positives I would say to add on to yours.
Okay. All right. Now we're gonna go into some critiques. Now I think now is the time to go into some critiques. Because I'm a fair and honest person. I tell it how it is. And these are unbiased critiques that I have with the show, and most people know most people already know how I feel about it. People know how I feel about it, but this is me being straight up honest and everything I've seen. So, let's start off with I think the biggest critique that I've had all year.
I know what that is.
Well, everyone should know what that is because I rib about it as much as Adam likes to rib on Jordan. But my biggest critique is the fact that and I'm not even gonna say the grade levels. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm gonna just put it all in one thing. Is that sometimes certain segments can be a little too long.
No, agreed.
And grade levels, I think I've used as the biggest grade. I've used grade levels as the biggest example for this kind of topic. But some of these but there are times where some of these segments can tend to drag on more than they need to. That is my first big critique. My second biggest critique with them is the fact that sometimes the fact that the four host system can be sometimes more detriment than a blessing.
That is. Oh, go ahead, Paige. Sorry.
And we were speaking a little bit, and me and Charlie, we were speaking a little about this last night in this regard. Because the fact that most people view this show as a wrestling show.
Oh yes.
And the fact is, not a lot. And the fact is, you have a host on the show who doesn't participate in wrestling.
Yeah, and we talked about this where I said, like the Hangman Outcast, and again, try not to compare, but the Hangman Outcast can be about anything pretty much that the two main co-hosts want to do. But as far as and then we have people in there that get fit into it, and then have people that could do their own thing. Them, however, are mostly center rev wrestling because you look at majority of the guests they have on, like the big guests. You look at their logo, you look at their intro or the voiceover, you look at their freaking t-shirt deal, you look at their sponsorships. It's all centered around wrestling. And so you couldn't even say, well, this is different or this is not a wrestling show. I'm like, the audience looking at it has the illusion that it's a wrestling show because of the logo, how the show is conducted in terms of the voiceover, like I said earlier, and no offense, but there is one guy who just doesn't fit in there because he has no knowledge of it. The only knowledge he knows of is of the main co-host, the other co-host, or myself, or Tom, or whoever else. So it's not like he's watching every week. And even with the grade levels, he's participating in it, but he has no idea what exactly he's grading. He could be grading a 5-star match an F.
Mm-hmm.
And if this show was a lot more well-known, like it was having hundreds of thousands or millions of people, there'd be, and you know how bad wrestling fans are, especially on YouTube.
Yes.
You know how they would rip him apart?
Yes, the tribalism of wrestling is very real.
So, like, for instance, if they did a grade level for, I don't know, an Okada versus Kenny Omega match, right? 5-star, 6-star matches according to Dave Meltzer, right? And David goes with F plus. Yeah, the floodgates will be open and they will be swallowed by all these hateful comments, worse than anything that I or anybody else probably have ever said to him. Let's not forget, wrestling fans are probably the most toxic community in fandom. Mm-hmm. Maybe comic books, but wrestling fans, these are like people who stalk other women and go in their houses or say, I'm outside your door, like with Alexa Bliss recently.
Yep.
Only about the wrestling being worse than drama, man. I think if a drama commands tab be worse than wrestling commanding.
You think the Dragon Ball? Okay, then I'm gonna have to look up the Dragon Ball Z to see how bad they are.
Trust me, it's quite toxic. I advise you to stay out.
Yeah, that's even why I tell people I'm not part of YWC. I'm an outsider in the YWC.
Like that explains a lot.
We've kind of confirmed this. Just because
Fuck
we talk
YWC.
Wrestling is a topic on our channels doesn't mean that we participate in YWC stuff. Like, we have to make that disclaimer, so people don't get misunderstood. But back to R&R, and I think my next critique is as we're doing this episode, the next time they'll be live, it'll be their 70th episode.
Yes, yeah, because last week's episode was episode 60. Yeah, because last week was episode 69.
And we're at episode 70, but there are plenty of times where the show kind of just seems like it's just going along with the motions.
And I guess I would say explain further with that page.
Yeah, there's times where I've tuned into an episode and it kind of just I've seen episodes from earlier in the run, and there's big episodes of R&R, but then there's episodes that just kind of just feel there. They don't really it doesn't feel like they're episodes that feel like I went out of my way to watch this, someone who may just appear on this product for the first time, who's coming along this, and they're like, oh well, I just decided to watch this. This is what I came to.
Yeah, and then like for instance, one of their most viewed R&Rs of all time really, in a way, had nothing to do with wrestling. It had to do with this individual and this other individual who I will not name, but it was episode 29.
Yeah, that's my favorite episode. My favorite episode.
Yeah, and it's it's a great episode, but that's what do you call it? That's like the apex of their entire popularity right now is that one episode that really had nothing to do with wrestling.
And the thing is, one of the co-hosts wasn't even on the episode, which makes it.
And the guy who actually owns the channel.
Yeah, that really doesn't solidify a point of this is the show that put the show on the map. Yes, it has the most views on your channel, but compared to a lot of the upper episodes down the road of the show, no episode has reached that number since. And you've done nearly double the amount of episodes.
Yeah. I guess the reason why I got a lot of views because my name got mentioned twice.
And don't get me wrong, the person who who was the guest in the episode, the one and only Jerome Latimer, is a very talented when it comes to this. Is very talented and very outspoken individual. Charlie, you should know that because you keep trying to get your revenge at him in terms of debates, but overall, when it comes
sorry to interrupt, but I'll be hanging out. I'm gonna get a little sleepy here, but yeah, thanks for inviting me here, and catch you later, y'all.
Later.
Later, Dragon.
Yep.
Later, Dragon. Always a pleasure.
Sure, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Legacy Dragon making his live and uncut debut. But in terms of audience reach, the show is definitely kind of waned. There's definitely been a wane.
And you're talking about Rant and Rave, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. and again, not to toot our own horns with me and Tom, but like, granted, what will I say? Do I want, like, episode 21 is like the most viewed episode of the Hangman Outcast still to this day. But the one thing that I've always noticed is that most of the time we've had a consistency in viewership. Like, and we've even attracted new audience members from time to time. And I do want the episodes to grow, but it's nice to see that consistency. You see, and sometimes, like I always tell people, with the Hangman Outcast, with how it's been over the last, like, however many episodes, you're guaranteed 100 viewers, 100 viewership for one stream. Most of the time in the last couple episodes, it's exceeded that, either by 100 or whatnot.
We can get better though. Like, we're not even trying. I don't know. I'm not even trying. I feel like we could be so much better, but we're just like, we bring it when we're coming, but there's no prep. Like, our prep is like, what are you talking about? This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think
no prep.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna private message you.
Can I tell you what? Can I tell you what I used to do? And you can tell me.
What you used to do?
So I used to have my people hated me, but I used to have us meet once a week off stream all together and just talk about the show. Just float ideas around. It would be not live. It would just be talking about the show. What can we do to make it better? What can we do how did we think about last week's show? There'd just be bullet points that we'd go through every week. Talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we could make better. And that improves the show going forward. And that's how I did every week. You get together. That's how you got to do it, because you have to be able to analyze the show together and not just do next show. Because then you never really think about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's the thing. That's one thing I'll add to the negatives, but I'll just say right now is I'm all for new ideas, new concepts, and criticism. If you have, like, when I listen to the criticism, I'm ready for it, because I want to know from the viewer, because you're a guest every so often, but you're not like you're not a consistent guest every week. But the fact is that I'm ready for it, because I that's something I could talk to Tom about and say, okay, he said this. What can we do to improve on that?
We also have to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I said we also have to be self-aware. Like, when I watch back, like, you need to watch back the show, so that way when we get together, we talk about it, because you need to be self-aware of how it sounded. What you say and what you hear are two different things. You may think, wow, that was a good stream. And then you play it back and you're like, that was not as good as I thought. Or you might be like, that was a terrible stream. And then you listen back and you're like laughing because, wow, this actually was a good stream. So, like, the only way to properly analyze it is to listen back to it, but put yourself inside of someone else's eyes and what they would see as a first-time viewer. Because a first-time viewer is always the viewer that is getting as I said earlier, the average person is only sticking around for 2 seconds. So you better make the majority of your stream interesting. That's how it goes. But we don't prep. If I were to say anything, Hangman Outcast, my biggest criticism to our own show is that we don't prep. I know Brandon preps. I don't think they go along the extent of telling you, let's meet together once a week privately with whoever is going to be our guest. Guest really doesn't have to be on. But, like, I had like 4 people, so we'd all meet. Me and you would just have to meet on the phone. I don't know, anytime. Yeah. And we could figure it out. But that's how you properly run it. That's how all radio programs, when a radio show goes live at 6, they're in the studio at 4:00. They leave they go off the air at 10 and they're still there till 1:00. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they got to get the show ready for tomorrow and they got to recap the show that they just did. Mm-hmm. That's how you properly run it. And that's how I would run it. And that's how you improve it. And we don't do any of that. So our prep work is just, but yeah, our show is good, but our prep work is just, it could be so much better.
Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, that's the one thing that that I'm always up for evolving, evolution, not to go into wrestling term, but evolution, because if you like Triple H said, if you're laying in a hospital bed, you don't know where you are, that's just because evolution has just passed you by. That's the exact thing that I don't want that to be me or be the show more specifically. But go. I didn't mean to interrupt it and go on a long tangent about that. But go ahead, Paige, with the rest of your critiques.
Well, all right, and I think this kind of goes back to what we were, I think, talking about mainly critique wise, is just the fact that I don't think that they get the criticism.
That they don't know how to take criticism, or they don't know how they don't get the criticism
They don't get
entirely.
the proper. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paige. But you're saying they don't get the criticism that they should be getting to better themselves.
They don't. I don't think they understand They don't understand the criticism from a viewer perspective, because and it's been because like the grade levels, I think, is the biggest example of this, and because grade levels, I admit I rip on the grade levels a lot, but because the grade levels take up a good portion of the program. And it's a part of the segment that people, for the most part, people have criticized the segment for being rather lengthy.
Now, didn't they stop doing grade level?
I honestly don't know.
I think they did. I don't know though either, because I haven't been able to watch the whole streams. I just kind of, because now that they changed their time, I'm not always.
Yeah, I was about to say they changed their time, and also I don't know why they did that. Like, because I have because I got stuff that I got to do at 8:00 now, so I can't watch. I can't.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute my mic real quick.
Yeah, so like I can't watch at this new time, so it's like.
Yeah, and I stream.
I usually be checking in, and when I check in, they're about to head off, so it's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. I stream too at 9. Like I ended early for you. Normally I stream from 9 to from 9 to 10. No, from 9 to 11. So like the fact that they're gonna go on at 8, I stream on Thursdays from time to time. So like I'm still streaming on Thursday because I've always streamed on Thursday from time to time. So it kind of clashes with me, which is fine. I don't care. I don't feel like I'm competing with their audience, because it's like, again, it's hard to get people will just go back and forth if they have to, which I'm fine with. I don't care. I already told Charlie, I don't think it's competing. A lot of us joke around about competing. It's not competing. And if anything, it drives up the views. Let me explain.
Yeah, so I'll say, I don't really consider it competing, because I really don't consider it competing, because to me, it's not, there's no competition.
No, it helps us
especially
both.
because we're all trying to help each other. So like, is there really a competition?
No, 2 streams live at the same time, from what I've noticed, drive the views up, because people are switching back and forth rather than sitting on one stream.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you, Tom, about that. Be like, for like do a stream against Red and Rave one day to see what about that, see what the divided was. That just as like a not the fucking destroy them or shit, but that would be like
it won't be a divide, Charlie. People are just gonna go back and forth. If anything, both shows will have a pretty good audience, because people just go back and forth.
Because I'll be honest, and some people could call me arrogant or cocky for saying this, I sometimes think that Red Rave did that because they saw what we were doing. Because let's not forget.
Yeah, but I don't agree with that, because we do it on Friday. We do it. Actually, Charlie, we don't even do a good time slot. We're like live on a Monday. On a Monday night, we're live, when in reality we should be doing it Friday night.
Well, like that, we were doing it on Friday nights for a while, but then I had to go back to work.
Yeah, Friday night is prime. Friday or Saturday, mainly Friday. That's the prime spot. Monday is weird. time to do it, in my opinion. But it works for us. And there's something to what you're saying, where we were getting decent views on a Monday at a weird time, and I could see that. I don't know. Jordan never explained why he changed the time. He just changed it.
Yeah, because think about it this way. Okay, before I started Hangman Outcast, because at first it was just a 20-minute stream or video. It wasn't even a stream. It was until I met Jordan, Brandon, and learned out about StreamYard. But we started the show mainly on like around 3 or 4 on Fridays. Then I think it was episode 9 when I had Megan on. She said she was free at 7. So I thought that would be perfect. Now, granted, I was actually wanting to do that to compete with remember that I told you about the old YouTube group that shut down?
Yeah.
Well, they had a show with one of the head guys who I had big issues with. He had a show called Geek Out SA, which is where Whore Out SA comes from. But anyway, so they just, like, I did that. I thought, okay, that's a good idea. Let's compete with them to prove that I'm more than what they say I am. And those episodes started growing. So I decided to keep it at 7 o'clock timestamp. And it was to compete with them. So it was kind of in a way out of spite. And then I started getting more views than them, live viewership, to the point where I just said, we're keeping it that way. Then when I got back to work, and mind you, at that time, they were still doing it at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock my time. And then like started doing it Mondays at 7 or 7, 8, whatever. And then, like I said, they started to do it at that. And then they noticed that they got big numbers because BOFAs are not at the same time as either shows. They were more in the same time as Rant and Rave. And Jordan always says that if it was for BOFAs, Rant and Rave wouldn't have been a thing. So now it's like they implemented the BOFAs idea, the time and all that stuff. And then now with the Hangman Outcast, when it went prime time, then now they're following the trend. Again, that's a theory.
It's fine though. It's fine. It works for them, so it's fine. It doesn't really.
Oh
matter.
yeah. I have no issue. If they told me tomorrow that that was the reason, I'd be like, well, I'm flattered and honored that you actually, that I'm the reason that you decided to do that. I'm not mad about it. I'm not pissed off or anything. I just thought that was funny.
It's kind of weird that we don't even know the reason, though. That's the only thing I don't understand.
Yeah, because I would even say if it is because of the Hangman Outcast, and again, it could be completely not. But if it was, that ain't something that you need to hide. I'd be honored, if you told me that. But and I'll say this, Tom. I will say this that Jerome pointed out in our chat. The reason why I've kept it on Mondays also because I work, but is because of the fact that it's kind of a good, BOFA starts usually at 4 or between 2 and 4 in the afternoon, and usually ends around the time the Hangman Outcast starts my time. So in a way, it's kind of like Jerome said, it's like the Tonight Show and the Late Show. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it wouldn't even be an issue. The thing is, Charlie, you don't upload these outcasts on any other platform. Like you could put it on Anchor, you could put it on Spotify, you could put it on iTunes, like Apple.
That's something that I was I do want to, because since you brought up that prep thing, that's something I want to talk to you about, because I've been having conversations with a few people and you also about Anchor, and I'm like, okay, I think we have an idea, but we'll talk about that more in private, because I think that's I've been having other discussions to kind of go with that idea, and I was like, okay, I think that's going to be the idea going forward, besides you two, of course. But anyway, back to the negative topics. Are we done with that? I know we kind of went on a tangent about the Hangman Outcast.
Well, I think my biggest. I think I'm I think my biggest negative to the show, and I don't know if you can agree with this, Charlotte, or not, but I think my biggest negative with the show is that sometimes the show feels a little too serious.
And what do you mean by that? Like how they run it, how the people, how like Jordan, Brandon, all them, how they act on the show.
It's a combination of just how they act on the show, because lots of times when I watch it, it's like straight topic.
And like little splices of maybe possible comedy in between. But again, that's like, it's mainly topic. I will even say this, and this is going to be a critique. I don't know if I'm a fan of their new format.
Oh well,
Like,
the man
okay.
himself here. Well, the man himself is backstage, so we'll bring him in and we'll.
Which one?
Someone call me.
Oh, hello, Jordan.
Hello, Trey.
I have my phone in my pocket, so I can't see who's in or who's not. Tom could be taking a shit and I don't even know.
Oh, and
No, that's your stick.
Well, wait, your phone is your pocket, so I guess the next time when someone searches you, they're probably going to say, "Wait, is that a phone in your pocket, or are you happy to see me?"
It's in my back pocket, you schmuck.
Oh, in that case, you like it in the back. Beautiful.
Where's Adam when you need him?
No, you know what? Where's Dan when you need him?
Dan was here.
Actually, speaking of Dan, I actually did a good Dragon Ball Z reference for him in his Twitch stream earlier today, which he actually laughed at, and I was actually good to see that I can apply my comedic talents to Mr. XP Enterprises himself. He was doing Mega Man X earlier today.
Yeah. Like, I didn't watch it. I was doing either a combination of doing my stream, or I was rating Tom's stream, or I was making chili dogs. One or the other.
Here's what I said. I said, like, he just beat Mega Man X, and I said, "Will Dan XP overcome more Mega Man? Will the Safeway manager let teenagers film in the store? And will my wife stop looking at other men? Find out on the amazing adventures of Dan Ball Z."
Okay, that's funny.
And him and Trips were laughing, and I'm glad that I could apply some Dragon Ball, into the show.
Oh, Jordan, speaking of which, me and Dan are going to have a promo off on episode 40.
A promo off? Wait, what is that? What the frick is a promo off?
I don't know. That was just the first thing I could think of a catchy name. Pretty much where we're both like cutting a promo on each other and seeing who cuts the better promo.
Okay, Charlie. It's more like it's more like a showdown rather than a promo off or homo. I don't know what the frick he's talking about here. Promo off. Seriously, the words you say really speaks volumes of how my intelligence is dying down because of you. But anyway,
I thought that was David, though. I thought David was degrading your intelligence.
Well, then again, everybody degrades my intelligence except for Phenomenal here and Tom.
Yeah, I don't.
And Jonathan.
Just Charlie.
But either way, and Dan, I know, Charlie. Go to the corner and cry. I know.
I wish I could, but I'm outside. I had to go get smoke.
Yeah, go to the toilet and cry.
Actually, that's actually more common for him, especially from last week's episode when we were doing that SpongeBob trivia thing. I will say this: the trivia thing from last week, that was great.
But since you're here, Jordan, Paige, why don't you tell Jordan what this is about?
Oh yes. I noticed you said some positive things about R&R, and let me tell you, yes, our logo is a knockoff of the TNA logo. But here's the deal: we did not make it ourselves. And we did, and yes, me and Brandon did pay half and half for it. But the thing is, the reason why was because it's both our show, and we had to pay for it together. Because if he's gonna pay out of pocket, I'm gonna pay out of pocket too on my end to make it fair. So that way he doesn't pay more than I do. And on top of that, And on top of that, it was the logo was helped and done by a guy by the name of Drexel. You know, the devil himself, Drexel, a wrestler, and and a good computer artist.
Well, if we're gonna start from the beginning of this all started because we got stiffed by your fellow co-host.
Stiffed
because we were gonna make an offer to invest in the project. The Horsemen were going to invest in this project, but unfortunately, he left.
Hang on, Charlie. Mute your mic, please, because I can't hear what Paige was saying on that last part.
Yeah, it's a little windy over my area. I'm shocked actually it didn't get as bad as till now. Anyway.
Man, it sounds like cars going by through the rain.
But yeah, the Horsemen, we're trying to make an offer to financially invest in the R&R segues, and Brandon just left.
Brandon Martin?
Make a deal. No, Brandon Boldegard. Yes, Brandon Martin.
Boldegard. Oh my god, it's Boldegard. But yeah, Brandon pops in every now and then. I mean, there are some times when he's gonna stay, and sometimes when he's got to do some stuff. So there's no offense whatsoever. He's not really. I mean, if he wants to take on the offer, he'll take up on the offer. I mean, he just has to watch back. That's all. But anyway, let me check this out.
So
Meltzer is a smart. Actually, I agree with that.
What are you talking about with the investment? Because since apparently I'm a part of the Horsemen. What are you talking about?
The Horsemen. It's the Horsemen time.
The Horsemen. The Horsemen.
Oh, well, in short, we almost bought Rant and Rave yesterday.
What?
Well, no wonder he left.
Well, you know what? I'm glad he did, because if anything, me and Brandon own R&R for life.
Hey, you guys still would have been doing the show. It would have had a little bit of an overhaul, but you still would have been doing the show.
Well, here's the thing: when it comes to R&R, me and Brandon,
you just would have been financially set.
Oh, dude! We got everything under control when it comes to finances and other social media platforms. I mean, Brandon is mostly in charge when it comes to the social media stuff, and everything else. Me personally, I just leave it all to him because, because he knows how to make things work, and on top of that, he's easy to get along with. He's a very passionate person in what he is with regards to wrestling and everything in that nature. And on top of that, he knows how to get a good interview. Like, take, for example, our first R&R of this year, Justin Credible, which is just incredible, pun intended, that we have a former ECW champion in the first, R&R, primetime, in the first weekly primetime for R&R of this year. And yet, I still love that episode. I hate saying that because even though it's the first one of this year, still at the end of the day, I can't help but love it. And plus, it was on the night where ECW had their final pay-per-view 20 years ago. Guilty as charged. And ironically, Justin Credible was part of that triple threat ladder match between him, Steve Corino, and the Sandman. I mean, and it's ironic that we'd have one of those men who had been in one of the final ECW title matches of the original run.
Yeah, that was a pretty good catch. My question was, what made you guys switch to primetime on Thursday?
Well, okay. Well, we've had specials before when it comes to different time slots, and truth be told, I was getting really, aggravated with the afternoon timeline because there were times where we didn't get enough viewership, we didn't get enough audience rate, and on top of that it was and also we had to change some things too in the format. Credit to you too for that. And also the thing is, I noticed that when you're on a primetime level, like in the night, that makes it more better. You know, it helps you get a little bit more viewers because the thing is with people nowadays, they want to look at things at night rather than day. You know, they want to watch things. If they want to watch something live, they want to watch it at night. You know, so that way they can, you know, get their, you know, their energies up. You know, and get their popcorn, their sodas, and whatever it is they got ready for the show. That's why I think it was better off to be at night, because there's better viewership.
Makes sense, yeah. So I'm trying to see, based on statistics, you guys had 140 views on 69. That was prime time. 68 was 166. So you had more views, actually. Well, then again, it was out longer, so I guess that makes sense. 106. When did you switch? When did you switch to prime time?
We had more viewership. The Hangman Outcast had more viewership than the last week's R&R. Beautiful.
I didn't say that. I said I'm comparing Rant and Rave podcast.
No, I said 160. Well, I heard the viewership was 69. I thought I was like,
no.
I'll mute myself again.
All right.
Yeah, you better mute yourself again.
I'm just trying to figure out when did you guys switch to prime time? What day was it?
Hold on, let me check that. I know it was the first. Yeah, it was the first Thursday of the new year. It was January 7th.
Okay, January 7th.
And that was actually,
right.
And 20 years ago from that day was the final ECW pay-per-view, Guilty as Charged.
So you had 140, 60. So 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, so that's still at 1 month ago, 65. That was still, so you had 277. Keep in mind that the older the videos are, obviously the more views are going to occur. But the point is how many views within a week. So you got 277. I'll say 65 would be your first. That sounds like it would be a first time prime time. All right, so 65, you had 277.
Oh yeah, practically one of the best episodes we've got so far.
And then as we go through here, I'm going to click them as I go. So 65, 66. 66, you had 150. So you lost a little there. But again, 65 was your first prime time. So that's expected. Usually prime time gets like the most views.
Or the fact that it was the first show of the new year, you know.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. 67 was 150. 68 was 199, which is you've slowly increased each episode. 69 is 157. So you're hovering around 150. 150 seems to be a reach right now. So let's look at before 65. Let's go to 60, which would have been the old time slot. Keep in mind, these are older.
Oh my God. I remember episode 60. That was one where I exposed someone who is an actual literal dickhead of a kid, not gonna lie. Check it out for yourself. I'm not gonna go any further than that.
That's 299 there, 159, 166. Okay, so it seems to me, Jordan, that it doesn't matter what time slot you're at, your core audience is about 150 to 160. When you do a special, you're pulling about 300. That's on average. So like if you do like a New Year's special or something else that you promote, you're pulling in at a Christmas special, you're gonna get almost 300. That seems to be like your standard. Now, obviously, it fluctuates based on episode. It could be you could get 1K one episode, but the point is, your average episode you're gonna pull at about 150, and it doesn't matter what time you're at. So your goal should be to maximize the time slot that you're at this point, because if you're pulling 150, but you said it yourself, you have a bigger audience, you need to find a way to reach that new audience so that way you can get higher. Because you're right, I think primetime will give you more views, but you clearly aren't promoting well enough because you aren't reaching those new views. You still have the same views that you were getting previous, so you're gonna have to find a way to promote.
At the end of the day, at least we're trying to do the best we can to an extent.
No, I'm just helping you. It's whatever you want to do at the end of the day.
After all, we do promote a lot of things. Go ahead, Paige.
And I was telling David that, because I see David promoting a lot, but the thing is, like, even before, like, you took your break and all that, I didn't see you promoting a whole lot.
Well,
And
I don't know
the
what
thing
it is. Sorry.
The thing is, this is your show. You financially invested in this show. This is your show. Like, you should be the first one to be promoting this show out everywhere. But lots of times I see it's David, and I'm like, wow, David's really David's pushing for this show. Like,
I feel like
I would expect it more from you because you're like. He generally
you
does,
can both
but in reality,
do it. Like,
you should be like you should do it.
Yeah, you guys should get on Twitter and stuff.
Well, the thing is that
Don't
get me started on Twitter. Honestly, it's a toxic cesspool enough as it is. But anyway, the thing is, the reason why I don't promote it when I'm on other streams like I normally do anymore is because, well, one, I don't want to steal audiences from other people's channels. I usually come on streams like this just to have a good time and chill, that kind of deal. But still, I do promote it when I'm on my own channel whenever I get the chance, and I do have it on my about, part of my channel to, as for the schedule thing, which I'm about to change up, real soon. But at the end of the day, I do what I can to contribute. I mean, at the same time, whether you guys like it or not, R&R is gonna grow, even if we have the average amount of viewers. Because the thing is, sometimes when you get from average viewers, you always get a growth in it. I mean, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was R&R. We're like, this is gonna be our 70th episode tomorrow night, and it's gonna be something. I can tell you that. I don't know what it is, but we'll do what we can to contribute and try to bring whatever fun and entertainment we have. And I'm not gonna, like toot my own horn and say that it is the greatest show on earth. I'm just, pointing out facts here.
So, Charlie, are you still here?
No, he's outside in the rain.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my God, what the?
Well, that proved it. I told you.
Charlie, well, if you're listening, I want to tell you something. I'm really proud of our show. Our show is, we are not at a standard at all. We are at a incline in views. We aren't at a fluctuation. We are right where we need to be. So just to put some perspective on it, in November, we were averaging 120 views in November. When we were getting 80 views, 100 views, 120 views, I'm actually surprised by this because I don't usually do statistics. Our last few shows here, 380, 231, 209, 175, 116, 186. That's just like, and remember, like I told Jordan, these accrue over time. Keep that in mind. Our last one was 186. So based on this, and I'm not saying this to boast, but we average more views than Rant and Rave. As of
That's
right
what I
now.
was saying earlier.
Whether Rant and Rave is on prime time or Rant and Rave is during the day. And we don't even prep, Charlie. We don't even prep. So we have such a potential to maximize our views by just doing those things I said earlier on this stream. Like, I really think that we have something growing. Like, we do. Like, we have something here. The fact that we went from 89 views in November to almost 200 views in like a few months. So what, 4 months? And we had a few of them had almost 400 views, 2 of them.
And that's after we moved to every 2 weeks as well. Think about that.
Yeah. So I think that if we do more prep work, I think we can really get something going. This isn't a bite at Jordan. Again, Jordan, I had advice for you too. You guys average a good audience, 160, but the difference is your audience isn't exceeding it. There's no curve. There's no growth that I'm seeing. And that's not, you guys have the show. You guys just need to figure out how to reach those people.
Well,
I don't know how me and Jordan, I don't know how me and Charlie are doing it because neither one of us really promote and neither one of us really
That's
prep.
true.
We don't prep. We don't. We just go live.
Well, the thing is, the fact that, David is pretty much the one which I'll give credit to when it comes to giving out links and all that on certain Facebook groups, which I do applaud him for. It's either
I do too.
it's either the people's lack of interest or just or it's just or it just is what it is. I mean, I don't really care.
Jordan, don't look at lack of interest. Don't. That's not a word you should ever say. You shouldn't be looking at people's lack of interest in your show. You should be looking at what people are interested in your show and expanding on those. Now you might ask, how do you know that? Well, there's this thing on there's a thing on YouTube, and if you log in, you can check your analytics. Unfortunately, Brendan Martin.
Tom, before I I'm gonna get off and go on my computer, so I'll be right back. I just want to say it so I didn't just disappear out of nowhere. All right, continue. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back too. Just let me mute my mic real quick.
Charlie, you do know that you can just do that and not tell us, and we'll kind of know when you come back. He always interrupts me when he's like, I'm gonna leave for a second, but I'll be right back. No, but what I'm trying to say is I don't look at any of these as criticism. These are ways to improve. Like when you go on YouTube and you log into your account, you can look at the analytics and you can see where viewership peaked at what exact time, and you can see where it dipped. And you need to look at where it dipped, go to the video and look at where it dipped and be like, well, this is where people turned off. Let's avoid that. Mm-hmm. That is a big no-no in our video because people don't like that. Again, if you don't care, then don't care. Just do what you do. But the point is, and this is why I look at it as a game. I don't know about you guys, but this is a game to me. I love streaming and I could stream forever, but it's also a game to me. It's a game and I need to win this game. It's not about the money. It's about the game. And I look at it and I'm like, how can I improve? And I know there's walkthroughs online. They're just called How to Grow. And not all of them are correct. But the point is, if you look at it like a game, you'll grow. And that's how you need to grow. What's up, Total Instincts? But yeah, no, that's all. Yeah. That's all.
So what were you going to say? All right, I'm back.
But none of it's criticism. So it's all just
now the more that and I'll say this: the more that I see it, like I don't even know how long you've been a co-host of the Outcast, Tom. I don't even know how long.
What was it?
You've been a co-host.
It wasn't. That's why I went to November because I wanted to see how much it grew.
Yeah, ever since November, you and Charlie have just clicked. There's this level of chemistry.
Yeah,
I feel between you two. The banter between you two, just I could listen to it. I could just listen to it. I could just listen to it. And chill with it because it's good. You two have good banter off each other. You guys know how to play to each other well.
And to that point, Paige, it worries me. That's why I don't want to over book the show. I don't want to book it because I think there still needs to be that the Outcast, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, Charlie. In my opinion, the Outcast isn't supposed to be formal. It's just supposed to be a chill thing that we do have topics, but it's not supposed to be as formal as Rant and Rave. It's supposed to be
and that's why hello Lens Kitchen, hello Total Instinct, how are you doing? That's why if you noticed, I think the 1 week that I had all those damn topics, I didn't do it again because I felt like it was kind of dragging the show because I talked about this with Paige because I wanted to be the antithesis of most shows where they're formal, where they have topics. That's why we did it in the first few episodes, maybe the first 10, and then we kind of abandoned it.
Well, Charlie, look at our views. Our videos that have topics have the least amount of views.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We need to find a way, and we could talk about this in private, but we need to find a way to capitalize on our banter and maybe include other people in it, but still be able to have a show around it. And then we can think about it. We can brainstorm, but that's really what it needs to be because our banter is what drives people to want to watch. And I think it's fun. I don't know about you, but I love going back and getting someone else. We can still have interviews. I think that I would probably, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'd be a better interviewer than you in terms of talking to the audience, mainly because I'm probably going to be able to articulate questions a little better. Not a shot at you. It's just that you.
Well, like Tom, I'm like the few interviews that I haven't like set up right now, and I'm thinking about keeping them separate from the Outcast.
You probably should. You probably should. See, the Outcast should be. We need to. If we're gonna interview people on the Outcast, they need to be more like Outcast material. I know that sounds friggin' weird, but you know what I mean.
The
like,
few people I have, like right now, I have, of course, well, an episode with you, episode with Dan, episode with Otaku, and I have a few other people that have asked. I think Dragon wants us to interview, and my idea was to have it. Even though it would kind of feel like an Outcast, but have it be me and you and the person, nobody else, and like everybody can watch and comment, leave questions or whatever else they want to do, but have it just like the three people because that way it's kind of very like with you, when they would look at you, they probably think, okay, he's going to ask some more straightforward questions or the more, and then Charlie is going to ask the very unpredictable questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
how I look at it. That's how I look at it too. So we're on the same idea. Like I feel like I'll articulate the certain questions better, but then people will still expect you to have your questions too, and that works. That's how our show works. Just looking at the episodes that are successful and the episodes that aren't successful, and again to what Paige said, it tells me that our banter, our chemistry is what we need to highlight. And the topics. That's why the day you sent me all those topics, I was like, Jesus, Charlie, you went like I just felt like that was the wrong direction. I'm like, I didn't want to step in front because maybe you knew better, so we did what we did. But again, I didn't think that was the Outcast. In my mind, the Outcast isn't that. The Outcast is like a redneck version of the Howard Stern show. That's really what it is.
Well, then again, the guy that hosts the show is from Texas. So.
Or it's like Opie and Anthony, better reference. But my point is, it's like a lesser version of that show. That's how we need to look at it. So if we really need to study, just look at Opie and Anthony online, and just look at Howard Stern, and look at some of those wacky morning radio shows from like the 90s, and not copy them, but look at them. And think about how they structured it, and then kind of come up with a concept that still sticks true to what we do, but can incorporate some of what they did into what we do without exactly copying them, because that would play well in our favor. Plus, making it more modern, like talking about wrestling, talking about games, talking about more things that apply to our general demographic, which our demographic is people that play video games. Your demographic is people that watch horror movies, and wrestling seems to be a shared demographic across everybody that watches our content. Those are the three main things we need to focus on when we're doing our show, because those are the three things that people come to. And those are the three things that drive ratings. When we were talking about the political stuff, that didn't drive any views, because most of our audience doesn't care about that stuff, because that's not our shtick. Our shtick isn't to be political. Now, obviously, that's not going to stop me from giving my opinion if I'm strongly about it, but we can't put a whole show around it, because that's not going to be fun for anybody watching.
Agreed.
And I think that's the point. And these are just my opinions. Whether they work or not is like a second test. But based on what I can look at, and you can do the same thing and tell me what you think, but I've been analyzing it for a while because I sometimes listen back on my way to work. That's just what I've gathered. I don't know how you think about it. And my main point still stands true. We don't prep enough. We don't do what needs to be done to make it. I'm shocked that we're actually on an upwards trend, but we don't, and still, even though we still don't do enough to really, we don't know our show enough, and that's a bad thing. We don't know the ins and outs of our show. We don't know what makes it work. We don't know why it works. We don't know what people like exactly. We don't know any of these. We don't have any of these answers because we don't know our show enough. So I think we need to figure out our show and why it's on an upward trend. And then once we figure it out, then we can talk about how to structure ideas around that concept.
No, I agree.
We need to figure out our show more, because I feel like we don't know it enough. And that's the main goal. Enough about that. I just felt like this was probably a good time to talk about it. I don't know how Rant and Rave works, but that's how that's how I used to work on my old podcasts, and that's how I think me and you should probably do the Outcast and whatever future projects we want to do as secondary to the Outcast. Like those interviews would be a good, like it would be a Thunder to our Nitro. It would be a SmackDown to our Raw. Does that make sense?
No, it does. Yeah, I agree.
Thunder to your Nitro.
Yeah, that would be our secondary show.
You
So
just had
basically, y'all similar to me because my content, I'm almost on Dragon Ball. Every time I make a Dragon Ball related video, I'm guaranteed almost like 200 plus views, or let alone rant me about a certain YouTuber, about a certain Dragon Ball YouTuber. Because every time I rant about a certain Dragon Ball YouTuber, I'm guaranteed like 300 views off of it. I mean, every time I make a rant video, every time I did rant about a YouTuber that's Dragon Ball related, I got 300 views off of it. So I guess people like when I rant about them.
How funny that, one of your recent rant videos, one of them that comments that you were ranting about actually has 24 likes, and I think it's probably from his own, alts.
And what's funny, Jonathan, is that when a rant video comes out of you, it's like I gotta watch it because you've always been a man of few words. So when I see you like just going like talking about somebody in that way, I'm like I gotta watch it because this is not. It's like a rare occasion in form of your other content.
Yeah, basically.
So we were talking about the Hangman Outcast. Anything else we were going to discuss about the rat races? We got one of the main 4 co-hosts. I know Brandon is live right now on Instagram. I'm assuming promoting his show.
See, Brandon promotes on Facebook, and Brandon does a good job promoting.
Actually, speaking of Brandon, he's actually doing I actually had a notification on Instagram that he was doing a live video for R&R like a moment ago.
That's what I just said.
That's what Charlie just said.
Oh, he said that? I didn't know he was still here.
I'm sitting right here, you schmuck.
You know what? I'm about to have a T-shirt with your face, with your face on it. Only the forehead says schmuck in backwards. That way, when you look in the mirror, you'll be telling yourself schmuck every morning.
Oh, I'm about to order very soon I'll be ordering a Jordy Gecko shirt from redbellow.com.
Hey, and you know what? That will mean you love me.
Huh.
How's that mean? I'm making a joke about it. It was
Charlie, I think that what we should do is focus on trying to get the Outcast to be successful as it can be, because if we can get that to work, then everything else will trickle down.
I was supposed to say, just focus on the
focus less on me and more on yourselves, because obviously
even Rant and Rave, if we can get the show up to like averaging a decent amount of views, even Rant and Rave will feel it, even Paige will feel it, because the thing is, as much as we sit here and say, oh, Rant and Rave this, Outcast that, or even Jonathan with the Dragon Ball, or Paige and that
Dragon Ball,
as much as we talk about our separate entities, we all share Jonathan has his Dragon Ball audience that isn't going to come watch any of us. So he's completely he's built his own thing.
Here's another deal for you as well. It's not also just for the viewers and all that. For me, when it came down to R&R, I never expected hundreds of viewers. The only thing I expect to do on the show is to have fun. That's mainly the general purposes. Because if you don't have fun doing the show, then what's the freaking point in doing it?
Yeah, but to what you're saying, I hear what you're saying, but the point is, once you gain those viewers, your responsibility is to keep them entertained and to keep expanding and keep them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now it's like what?
At the same time, it also comes down to your host having fun. Because if you're not having fun on the show, then you're not bringing anything to the table.
Charlie, do you always have fun when we do the Outcast?
Yeah.
I always have a blast too. So like the idea is,
there you go.
Of course, like I wouldn't be streaming like if I didn't have fun. I love streaming. Even if I had one view, I wouldn't care. It's one of my favorite. I'd rather I could stream if I was young. I wish I could stream when I was 18. I would have been able to stay up all night. I did try to stream when I was 18, but it was on Justin TV and ain't nobody watched it. Nobody was streaming back then. I was just doing it because I thought it was cool. But not like nowadays. It's a whole production. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and plus, like my big thing is that like I always treat and this is not a duck to my eyes or that, but like I always treat it like there's nobody watching because I'm just focusing on just enjoying everything as much as I can.
That's funny. I'm the opposite. I always treat it like there's thousands of people watching.
I feel like I feel like there's nobody watching, because I feel at my loosest when I have like that mentality.
Really, I always assume. See, I get that. I always assume there's 100. I don't look. I block my view count. I don't know how many views I get. I block it from Twitch, so they don't.
Block it.
I can't see what it is. I don't know how many views my streams get. I assume because my chat, and I know that the majority of people watching don't chat. I get that, especially on Twitch. Most of them just want to watch somebody play a game. But I assume I engage, and I assume that I at least have one person watching me, but I treat it like I have more than one person watching me. That's how I've always gone. Same thing with the Outcast. I don't look at the view count. The only time I ever see the view count is when Charlie's like, "Oh, wow, we got a lot of people watching." I'm like, really?
And then it goes down when he starts bragging.
I don't even look at the view count. I never care about the view count. It's not about the view count. It's about the viewers. I don't care about the view count. It's about the viewers. The only time I care about the view count is when we're looking and analyzing the show. But during the show, I don't care what the view count is. Of course, I'm going to analyze the show. I took a broadcasting course. I know communications. Of course, I'm going to sit here and analyze the show after. That doesn't mean I'm greedy for views. That just means I'm trying to catch every angle of a project that I'm working on. And it would be incompetent of me not to fully analyze it to the point of views and how to make it bigger, because the point is to reach more people, to provide the same entertainment that you provide your me and Charlie's case, 180 plus people per week. Now I want to be able to give that same entertainment to a next group of people. So the only way to do that is to figure out where am I getting these people to like it and how can I reach it. And then you got to look at trends. Me and Charlie never jump on trends. Me and Charlie don't talk about trends. There's no trends we talk about. We probably could talk about some of them, but none of our shows have ever been trends. Like we don't jump on you don't see me jumping up and doing a Fortnite dance. You don't see Charlie. Like none of it's, we could eat. Those are cheap views. Those are cheap promotions. There's stuff we could do. I could start putting clips of our show on Twitter. Charlie could start uploading it into audio form on Anchor. I'm not just saying our show. This is tips for everybody listening. This is something rant rave. Anybody can do this stuff. The point is, like, promotion wise, taking digital promotion in college, it was a lot of it was like it was like uncharted territories. Like a lot of older people didn't know how to do it. You kind of just need to figure it out and see what other people did. I kind of just figured it out on my own. I always tell people on Twitter, when you go into, I got 800 and something followers, and it wasn't from just friggin', a lot of it was just from liking people's tweets. In the modern day, liking someone's tweet and sharing somebody's post on Facebook is the equivalent to going door to door back in the day. You're just knocking on somebody's door and being like, hey, come check me out. When you like someone's comment or you post or you share, somebody's going to see that. Whether they invite you in or not is up to them, but they're not going to know you exist. If you don't spam, don't sit there and spam everybody. But if you see something on Twitter, you see something on Reddit, or if you see something on Facebook, like it. Especially if you're on your brand. Like if you're on your brand account, like it, share it, retweet it. Because it's just a way to get your name out there. You might, who knows, maybe that person will follow you, or maybe that person will start watching you. That's just little stuff that people don't do. That's like easy promotion. You're already on Facebook. You're already on Twitter. You're already there. You might as well just like the post if you like it and don't scroll past it. I've gotten a lot of followers just on that, just liking somebody's post. There'd be times where I'd be sitting there on Twitch streams and just going through Twitter on Twitch and clicking that person's Twitch account and going on there and just, he's streaming to nobody. And I'm just the only guy in there asking him about what kind of computer he has. What's up? What are you streaming at? And then all of a sudden he shows up on my stream one day and he's following me now. So like, this is stuff I used to do. I don't do anymore, which is my fault. I need to go do that more. But my point is, this is stuff that it's just promotion one-on-one, and it's easy. You're already doing it. You're already on your phone So like that's just easy stuff. The harder stuff is like analyzing your content and what gets people to like and what's going to work with what you're trying, your demographic. It's hard to even know your demographic too. Like you need to learn your demographic, which me and Charlie need to really sit down and figure out what makes our show work so we can then know what we can do to improve it that won't hurt it. Because like us going randomly deciding out of nowhere to just suddenly do politics was weird because that isn't where our show was. Shouldn't even have been a thing that we even wanted to talk about, get political. Because clearly politics aren't our thing. I'm talking too much, so I'll stop. I'm like, I can feel it.
Yeah, Tom, your Charlie is showing.
Well, Charlie's on another level. He'll talk for 2 hours.
The thing is, when you make good points, I'm not like the thing is, if you make good points, I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm not going to stop you because you got good points and like they should be shown. But the thing is, if we're talking on the other hand, if you were completely just on the other way around, then yeah, I'm definitely gonna step in, and I would have cut the plug on this much earlier.
Well, like Charlie last week.
Yeah,
last week. I think it was a week before.
Charlie got his little feelings, so I get it. He must have just gotten too stressed out for 1 week, but
I ran out of lotion and napkins.
But they took them all at the supermarket.
Yeah, David took them all.
Supermarket, in my pocket, in the docket. You could sack it.
Yeah, David took all the lotion and the napkins in the store, so I was pissed.
You know what? Better for him to have the lotion for himself rather than you, because your skin looks horrible anyway.
What do you mean? He lotionizes. He puts makeup on every day before his work.
True. You make a good point.
It's lotion.
Why do you do it on stream though? It doesn't make any sense. Like we're all trying to chill, and you're like,
it's like toilet paper.
You do it on purpose.
That is
on purpose. There's no reason why the camera Go ahead, sorry.
That's just his choice at the end of the day. I can't really.
Exactly.
There's not much we can do about that.
But Paige, he doesn't need to do it on camera. He wants us to see him do it. He wants us to see him put it on his face.
Then again, he is in the bathroom on camera. So like, what else?
With those PEDs.
The PEDs on top. Yeah, we all got
PEDs. Yes.
I was gonna say, but like, what else can we do for him at this rate? There's not much we can do.
We can pray.
He's an atheist. That doesn't work.
He's an atheist. He might melt.
You can still pray for an atheist and it could still work.
Hey, Charlie, you had an interview today, right?
Yes.
We were talking about this earlier.
I missed it.
Yeah, you should have watched the stream. Just go back and watch the stream and find out for yourself.
So did you get the job?
Yeah, and it's not going to be on 6 to 9.
You completely missed my introduction.
Yeah, I did. I was still streaming. I was trying to get people
go back and watch it. Give Paige more love on this show, and go back and watch it at the beginning.
I was actually on Lucas's stream, watching and being a part of it. If you don't know who Lucas is, I'll tell you afterwards.
But anyways, guys, I think that we've reached a good portion of the show. I don't want this to go on so much longer. But I want to thank everybody for tuning into this episode. Thank everyone that came in the stream. Thank everyone in the chat who watched. And we'll be live right here next week for episode number 6 as we continue on this road to finish up season 2 of Live and Uncut. And I hope that you'll be along with the journey with us. And I hope that we'll all see you here next time. Until then, for Jonathan Hanna, Tom Willis, Hangman Charlie, and J-Man's Legit, I am P1 signing off saying take care and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.